back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And for the 50th episode of MD Global Muscle, we're joined by a real superhero, my Iron Mike Christian. Yay!
Hey!
Mike.
How we doing, y'all?
Mike, I've wanted to get you on since the very beginning of Global Muscle. So here you are for the 50th episode. This is a real special one, mate. We're very honored.
That's perfect.
Very honored. Mike, okay, right. I'm going to take you back a few years now. 14-year-old Giles in his bedroom with his weight set. And I remember I had, do you remember that poster of you? Remember the tricep pushdown, the pull-out poster?
Yeah, the Iron Warrior, yes.
Oh, man, I had that poster. It was actually on, there was a picture of Barry DeMay on the one wardrobe door, and then there was that picture on the other door. And that was such an amazing image, mate. So I started following this.
Very intense.
Yeah. So, I mean, I started following the sport in 1990. And obviously that was the year you were really peaking, wasn't it?
Yeah. I felt like I could have won that Mr. Olympia that year. It's no secret, But that was the year that I looked in the mirror, Giles, and I had to say, listen here, Mike Christian, you will never be Mr. Olympia. If you did not win this year, you'll never win. Because
really?
Haley was a little off. I was the one. It's all to it. And I didn't win, so I had to go to WBF. That was Vince McMahon, the WBF, and they paid me over $300,000 a year.
Oh, really? I
checked for $30,000, Giles, in the mail. I will look at it for 5 minutes every day. No, I'm not doing anything. I'm $30,000.
Wow.
Amazing.
Okay, well, we'll go. Obviously, I want to talk about the WBF days because that was an interesting 2-year period in your career. Let's talk about that 1990 because that was the first Mr. Olympia I ever followed. And I remember because there was you, Lee Labrada, Francis Benfato, and Frank Hillebrand that I felt were the only ones that really brought it at that Mr. Olympia. Tell us about that.
I thought Sean Ray looked good too.
Yeah, Sean Ray looked very good. Very good. Yeah, he was third. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what happened. It was, of course, this guy won 8 times Mr. Olympia, so you have to dethrone the champion, and I guess that's hard to do. Of course, people don't want to feel like they made a mistake by giving them 7, or not giving them 8. So that's the way the story goes.
Yeah. So now
you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, I mean, now you're living in Texas, correct?
Yes, sir.
So why? Obviously, tell us about. I really want to get into the depth of the of those days living in Gold, Venice Beach and Gold's Gym. Oh, yeah. What years did you live there, and why did you leave?
I lived there from 1980 till 2005, I believe. Lived in that area, 35 years in the area.
35.
Yeah, I lived in California. And I got in a little trouble and stuff, so I went up to Oregon when I was 17. Went up to Oregon to visit my dad, and he got me to stay up there, got me a job, helped me get out the environment and the gang situation. And that's when I started bodybuilding. I went up there, and the guy, his name was Chuck Amato from Knott Street Gym in Portland, Oregon, and he asked me to go on a bodybuilding contest. And I said, I'm not putting on them little skinny trunks and oil myself down and prance around the stage.
Yeah.
It ain't happening. So after about a year, he still talked to me and said, yeah, you got to do it. So he changed my mind. I went to my first contest and I won it.
Okay.
And Giles, it was a very interesting moment in my life, in my career, because before, when I was in the gang, I would knock out somebody and everybody would cheer and, hey, wow, look what he did, and it was like a high, exhilaration that you got from it. All the guys looking at me, wow. And then when I won my first contest, and when they went nuts and taking pictures and, hey, you're the champion, it was the same type of high, but in a positive way. Yeah. So I needed that, that high from the gang, and I turned into a positive way, It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It was God's gift.
So what was it like? I mean, I always wonder what it was like to train in those real heydays of the Gold's Gym days. What was it like?
It was a mess.
Oh, it was a mess? No way. Tell us why. Why?
You had the barbarians in there spitting on the floor. You had Victor the Richards in there. You know, you had crazy Samir Banouti in there, always laughing and joking.
Yeah. Wow.
And Tom Platts trained his butt off with intense training.
Yeah.
Mike Mensler, of course, you know. Robbie in there, Robbie's a very quiet person, so he was really kind of low key and quiet. And kind of did his
He's
thing,
still there. He's still there, isn't he?
He's still like that. Yeah. When it comes time to get in shape and get ready for the show, he was always on time. You know. And another thing about me, Giles, is I really didn't train there all year round. I never in my life trained the whole year for a contest, except when I was younger. As a kid, I did. When I moved to California, I really didn't train the whole year. I trained basically 3 months for a contest.
What?
Yes.
Hang on. Sorry. What?
3 months. Yes, I would not go to the gym for 2 months before the contest. 2 months. Take off to 2 months before after the show.
Okay.
And come back 3 months before the contest and train. So I had 2 contests I would enter a year. I was going to Olympia and Arnold Classic.
Okay.
So 3 months before the Arnold Classic, I would train, and 3 months before the Olympia. So I basically trained 6 months out to a year for all the years.
So what did you do the other 6 months then?
I mean, I felt my body needed rest and needed recuperation for one.
Yeah.
And another thing was I had my little girl. I had a daughter.
Okay.
And I wanted to spend time with her. She was the most important thing in my life at that time. So
yeah.
I would get her for Christmas, for holidays, for summer school, and just go and play and have fun with her and take her all over around the world. Wow. She's actually born on Christmas Day, Giles.
Oh, wow.
It's Christmas baby. Yeah, thank God. Yes. And for Christmas, I've taken her to Japan, Australia, Jamaica, all over the world. Every time on Christmas Day, I would take her to Hawaii and celebrate Christmas with her. So, but the times and goals in Venice was remarkable.
What was your because I remember when I was a teenager, I used to buy the Battle for Gold. I remember buying the '88 Olympia Battle for Gold, and I remember there was you, Lee Haney, Rich Gaspari, and I was so inspired by those videos. Guys, go and check out the Bold Battle for the Olympia videos. You could probably find them on YouTube. They're absolutely amazing. Watching yourself and you literally all trained in the same gym, in Gold's gym, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Yeah. And which was real interesting because I would give a little Haney a little jab here and there. As some of you seen on the videos, of course. But it was all in fun. I would go up there and tell him, I said, Lee Haney says 8 in a row. Christian says no.
Yeah.
I would always come up with a saying like, "You're not gonna win this year."
Yeah.
And of course, you guys see me with pointing in his face. And
so who trained the hardest out of all of you then? Who trained the hardest?
Who trained the hardest? I think I got to say me. I didn't train all year round, but when it came time to train, I trained.
Yeah.
There's no time to play around then, You had to train. I had 3 months. My back was against the wall. And I think that's what worked good for me, Giles. I worked better when my back was against the wall, when nobody thought I could make it. They would see me coming to the gym 3 months for the show and say, look at me and say, he's not going to make it. I put on 20 pounds in 3 weeks.
Wow. Oh, my God. Yeah.
20 pounds of muscle in 3 weeks.
Whoa.
I would actually, of course, go off the antibiotic steroids, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Off season, I would just go on before the show. So that was my rest, recuperation, and taking off the cycles.
So what did you look like? What did you look like before when you that first day when you walked back in the gym and all the guys you've been training all year round?
I looked like a wet noodle. Everybody counted me out. Everybody counted me out. I would hear Mike Quinn and Robbie, all of them look at me and laugh. And, he ain't gonna make it this time. And Lord, we come 2 weeks for the show. Woo!
Wow. Do you still stay in contact with all the guys from the Samir Banous, the Haneys,
Oh, yeah. Wow. I just talked to Samir Banous last night, actually.
Oh, wow, really?
He did a line like he was Joe Weider. He called me on the phone and says, Joe Weider. He does a great Joe Weider imitation. And he says, Joe Weider, Mikey, you can be the best. And you can be Gary Schneidem and Lee Haney. With the whole spiel, Giles. It was really cool. And Robbie Robinson, I talked to him last week. Mm-hmm. Charles Glass, me and him text all the time.
Good.
That's my best friend. Me and him were very, very close. we trained together. We actually trained together in the 80s.
Okay.
Till what happened is he actually got hurt. We was doing some heavy squats because I was really working on my legs. My legs bigger. I was doing like a 500, 600-pound squat, and he was trying to hang with me. Everything I did, he was, he was trying to outdo me. That's how Charles is.
Because people don't realize, a lot of people don't realize, Mike, is that Charles used to be a very good pro as well, wasn't he?
Very good pro. He used to do flips and handstands and all kinds of gymnastics. Yeah. He has a gymnastics background. So when he went on stage, it was very entertaining, which is that thing is what we're missing nowadays, guys. As you know, is the entertainment part of bodybuilding. It's kind of slow and boring, and everybody's doing the same old thing, and so you need that entertainment part to get, I think, more of the people to come watch the shows. That's what I believe. I always believe that.
Yeah, I totally. I love posing. I love yourself, like the Leela Brothers, Rich Gaspari. I mean, even Samir was a good poser. Tom Platz was the exciting poser. He got the crowd going.
Exactly. They had charisma.
Yeah.
It's the charisma. Charisma's not there. I was a great poser. I would always, I would know how to go back and come and back and push them back and go, okay, time to come here.
Yeah.
And nowadays you see them guys, they actually, when they come on stage, they seem like they go put their hands up and say, come on, clap for me. And back in my days, Giles, it wasn't like that. Yeah. I would do a pose and bam, they go nuts. I hit a backside, bam, they go nuts. I hit a leg, ab side, that would make them go nuts. I didn't have to say, come on, clap for me, come on. Yeah. That part kind of drives me crazy, I mean, a lot of pros do it, of course, and they just make up their routine as they go by too. And those two things kind of bother me because it's got to be you're a professional. You should be a professional all the way from A to Z.
I completely agree. Now, I'm thinking about, I remember when I was, what was I, must have been about 18, and I managed to get my hands on the complete collection of all the Flex magazines. Right from, I think it was from about 80, sorry, it wasn't the complete collection, it was from about 86, 87 onwards. I had every single one. And I remember seeing it. I remember looking through all the magazine. That's when all the show reports obviously were in the magazines, and you going up against Gary Stridham and Bob Paris. And, so tell us what your favorite moment competing in the IFBB was. Absolute highlight.
Boy, I mean, it's hard to tell because I had some great battles with Rich Gaspari at first, of course. A lot of great battles with Lee Haney. Of course, Gary Stridham, of course.
Yeah.
Brian Buchanan, me and him had a few battles together.
Wow.
But I don't know. I think that the ones with me and Lee Haney, I kind of cherish those the most. He was a champion, and I wanted to be a champion, and I wanted to beat the champ. So I think the ones with him, the battles with him was the most exciting for me and the most fun. When I trained for the contest, I was relaxed. I trained hard. I trained harder than I ever trained. Every time I got on stage, I had made a commitment to myself that I would be better than the last contest, or I would not go in the contest, Giles.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, in 1988, I didn't go into Mr. Olympia. The only one year I didn't go in.
That's right. The Los Angeles, you didn't do it, did you?
That's right.
Why?
It was leg day. And they asked me in the audience, said, why aren't you in the Mr. Olympia? I said, today's leg day. I never miss leg day.
So why did you not do that Olympia?
I didn't feel I was ready.
Oh, really?
If I didn't look better than I did the year before, I would not go in.
Wow.
I didn't feel I was better than I was the year before.
Yeah.
I would always put on like 7 to 10 pounds before each contest, and I couldn't do it. It wasn't there. I never looked.
Yeah.
And I said, I wouldn't do it. This doesn't make sense. I'm going in there to place 3rd, 4th, 5th. I don't do that. I go in to win.
For me, I think my favorite look of you when you were competing in the Pro League was when you got 4th in the 1990 Olympia. Now, that Olympia was drug tested. And like you said, Lee Haney and a lot of the guys were down in muscle and condition. But you brought your best package ever. How did you see what I'm getting at? How did you manage that?
Yes. Well, there was a drug testing show earlier, the Arnold Classic, the one that Son Ray tested positive and he lost to Mike Ashley, remember?
That's correct.
I was in that contest. I moved up from 3rd to 2nd. So I had experience doing that. I had lots of experience doing that. I knew how my body would react. The foods I could eat, the more rest I needed, the training not so intense and so hard. So I had a lot of experience going into that show, and it all paid off. I know exactly what to do, how long to do it, and do my thing. So I was on the money. I was very happy.
Well, I mean, to even be able to come in as good as you were before in a drug-tested show, but you didn't even do that. You came in better than you'd ever come in. I mean, for me, I remember cutting the pictures out and from Flex Magazine, all about the top of my bedroom, and it's just like, I mean, you and, like I said, you, Sean Ray, and you look like Ben Fatto was like 180 pounds. What did you weigh? What did you weigh at that Olympia? Because you're tall. You're about 6'1", aren't you?
240.
240. Wow. Yeah. Wow. So you and Lee Haney were really the heaviest. Gary Stridham were probably the three heaviest in the IFBB at the time.
Yes. Yeah. Stridham did not go on the Olympia that year, but yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So let's talk about.
And of course, Lee Haney is 5'11" and I'm 6'2".
Okay.
So I'm a little taller than I was the tallest besides Gary Stridham. I was the tallest in the Olympia that year for sure.
Yeah. You seem to always have a good relationship with Joe Weider. So what was his response when you went over to the WBF?
Very interesting question, Giles. The thing of it was when Vince McMahon flew me over in a private plane to Connecticut.
Yeah.
Offered me the deal of the century. I said I'd think about it, take back what he said, went back home, and contacted Joe Weider.
Okay.
Nobody else did. None of all 13 guys contacted Joe Weider and asked him, what does he think? I'm the only one that did. I went to Joe Weider. I said, listen, he's going to give me $300,000. I said, Joe, I don't expect you to pay me $300,000 a month, but right now, you're not paying me anything. And I want to buy a house. I got my daughter. I got a son coming. I can't tell him I'm going to place in the top 5 in Olympia and get $25,000, $30,000, give me a house, So I wanted it was time in my life and my career that I had to move on and get something, stable with my kids and my family. So I told him that, and he said, I will not compete. That's what his exact words was. He said, Mike, I will not compete.
Yeah.
I said, okay, Joe, thank you. We shook hands. And departed. And of course, we talked and everything afterwards, but we talked for a few years when I was with the WBF, but afterwards we become good friends.
Good. So
I think he respected me.
So what were those? I mean, the WBF lasted 2 years. They had a magazine. They had 2 very big shows. What was that like as an overall experience for you?
It was perfect, Giles. It was what I always dreamed of bodybuilding being. Okay. It was entertainment. And when I got into bodybuilding, that's what I wanted. I wanted to show my personality. What I can show the people what I have, what kind of feeling, what kind of personality, what kind of charisma I have. I want to make you enjoy what you're watching. So it was a real part of my life that I wanted to, really show what I had and what I could do and how people could respect what I was doing. So with the WBF, they gave us that avenue to show that, be entertained for the people. So it was perfect. It was perfect timing for me. It was getting paid money. He was had you on TV. He had the wrestling. He made all wrestlers household names. Hulk Hogan, The Rock, etc. So I felt by going with him, I'm gonna be a household name. I'll have Iron Warrior doll coming out.
Iron Warrior.
Everything was there, Giles. It was right there. You can't miss. It was going to take bodybuilding to a different level. It was so perfect, but he didn't do a lot of things right. Number one thing that I think he did not do right was he didn't listen to us. He would not listen to us. He's Vince McMahon. He knows all. So we had actually told him that he had to start an amateur federation, because with the amateur federation, you can have us guest pose at the amateur federations and get money and pay. See, if they're paying us millions and millions of dollars a year, let us make our own money. So we started an amateur federation. We could have went to the amateur federation, guest pose, get money from that, and we would go on and on. But he wouldn't do that. He didn't open it up.
It's kind of like, I suppose, if you like with the WBF, it's like having a wrestling camp to bring new talent in, isn't it?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So what you got? He was well established with the WBF. I mean, WWF, of course.
So how did that?
WBF was just establishing it, and he had to have somewhere to, for us to get the money, get his return back.
Yeah.
That makes sense,
Yeah. So you were happy with how the whole 2 years went then?
No, not really. I was happy with the first year. The
Okay.
second year, what happened is the FBI was coming on him very heavily because of the steroid thing with him and the wrestlers. They were saying some type of thing that he was giving them steroids and the whole thing. So they were watching him very closely.
Yeah.
And then he started WBF, so they watched him even closer. So he had told us after the first year, he said, they're watching me. He said, none of you guys can take drugs anymore.
Oh.
If you take any anabolic steroids, you're gonna be fined $25,000-$30,000.
Wow.
Yeah, $20,000-$30,000.
Well, but that's only a month's money, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So it didn't work out very well. He got us a doctor that would put us on a high-fat diet. I forgot.
Mauro Pasquale.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I remember Mike Quinn, because he took it a bit literally, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. He was there.
So what happened there? What happened?
I wasn't happy either, but.
So you were just told what to eat as well?
Yes. Peanut butter and steak and just high-fat diet. And, of course, it didn't work for me. I never looked, bad. It was the worst I ever looked, basically, The first contest was good. The second contest was terrible. Yeah. When he did the drug testing, I
remember because you took second place in the first one, and then in the second one, I remember Aaron Baker and Tony Pearson looked good, but everybody else just was.
Yes.
I mean,
you can't look good.
Yeah, but you can't
put. You know what it was? What? It was funny, guys, because I believe in my heart. You can say what you want, but I believe that he made a deal with Gary Stridham, he could allow him to take the stuff, and nobody else could.
Really?
Yeah. I really believe that in all my heart. I have no proof to it, but I believe that.
Do you think he was on the high-fat diet as well?
Who? Gary?
Yeah.
No, he was taking antibiotic steroids, no question about it.
No, I wonder about, do you think he was on the high-fat diet as well?
No. He was doing whatever his normal diet is. Right. He looked great that year. He deserved to win, no question about that. But he was on steroids, and we weren't on steroids.
Wow, I can't. So they take away the anabolics. They tell you what to eat because I've competed and a diet that high carb never worked for me, so I would go low carb, high fat, high protein. But you can't. It doesn't. One rule doesn't work for all, does it?
Absolutely, guys. You got to figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
And that's why you read the magazines. That's why you listen to you with the readers and the interviews that you do, and all of us tell you different things that we do. So basically, take all these different ideas from different athletes around the world and what they do and how they do it, and how they train, how they eat, and what they do, and you put it into like I did. I took a little bit of Robbie, a little bit of Arnold, a little bit of this. Yeah. I took a little bit of train, a little bit how they ate, looked at their metabolism, saw what type of metabolism was, how tall they were, and put it into my thing. I came up with my actual program. I do the push-pull, which is day one, we do chest, shoulders, triceps, all pressing. Yep. Day two, we do back, biceps, all pulling. And then day three, we do legs, hamstrings and calves and thighs. And then day four, we rest. And then the cycle repeats. It's a 3-on, 1-off.
Okay.
And that way, guys, what you're getting is you're getting full recuperation. So basically, if you're on anabolic steroids, you can train almost every day and you look good. It's no problem. But if you have any weaknesses, you're going to show the weaknesses. Yeah, because you're not getting enough time to recuperate the muscle. Yeah. Without the recuperation, it's going to stay the same or get worse.
Yeah, I had.
You're working for example, you're doing chest one day.
Yeah.
The next day you do shoulders. Indirectly, you're hitting your chest again.
Yes.
They're connected. Chest, shoulders, triceps, they're connected. So you're keeping the body tore down too much and not getting enough time for recuperation. So it's a real simple, idea, I think,
Yeah.
The way you train. Yeah, but that's what helped me with the drug testing show. I trained that way, and it's helped me all through my career to get in there and last 3 months of the show and, look my best.
Yeah. We had Vince Taylor on last week's episode.
Yeah, Vince.
Yeah. VT is 63 years old now. Still looks fantastic. Still looks young and healthy, much like yourself. Because you're over 50. To be fair, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm 65.
65. Oh wow, I thought you were the
Yes,
same
sir.
age as Vince. 65.
Yeah, no, I'm 65. Older. Them guys are all youngsters. Lee Haney, Sean Ray, all of them youngsters. I'm the oldest.
Oh wow, really? I didn't know.
Besides Robbie, of course. You know.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, only Dexter's old as Robbie.
Right.
They keep saying that Dexter Jackson's definitely a vampire. Has to be.
Yeah, remember he's like the new Albert Beckles.
Huh? Yeah. Do you know, I had a conversation with Milos Sarcev the other day about Albert Beckles, because somebody put on Instagram saying Albert Beckles did over 100 contests, and then I was trying to work out who'd done the most amount of pro contests, and I think it was 72 Milos and Chris Cormier apiece, but I think the record is 83 or 88 for Dexter. And then someone said, oh no, Al Beckles is more, but Al Beckles I think was around 50, 60 pro shows.
Yeah, but the other thing is, because of where it came from, they never really had any birth certificates, I heard. So people really don't know about his real age.
Yeah. But what about
they questioned it, of course.
I tell you something that Albert Beckles did. He was one of only very few bodybuilders to ever go from last to first in a year. At the Niagara Falls in 1990, he was last place. In 1991, he went to first place.
Really? Are you serious? I never knew that. What year was that?
That was 1990. He was last place in the Niagara Falls, and then he came first in 1991.
Wow.
And I tell you, somebody else that did it was Charles Claremont. Charles Claremont did it in 1992 at the British Grand Prix. He was last place. The year after, he beat Flex Wheeler and Kevin Nerone and came first.
My God.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I know. And there is one other man. There was
high caliber contest.
Yeah.
Amateurs, so it can happen. It happens all the time. Yeah. But when you're in a pros like that and you compete with guys like that, it's almost impossible. Yeah. I mean, even Ronnie Coleman couldn't even do it.
Well, he went from the back of the pack to the front of the pack in 6 years, didn't he? 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years. Took him 6 years. They did one contest.
Yeah. So I mean, the only other bodybuilder that did that was Eduardo Kowak as well. He did it as well in the early 80s. But I mean, there was very few pros around then, But so it's more impressive as time goes on. But okay, let's talk about when the WBF finished. What was your life like then? What was your mindset? What was next for you?
Oh, do we have to talk about that?
You can skip over it if you want to, because I want people to know that there's a journey through your life, because you're still here, you're still healthy, you look great, you sound great, your life is going well, and I think people will. You have talked about it before, and it's something I would like to touch on, Mike.
Yes, sir. Well, after the WBF, it went down, very, very down, dark place I went to. It was very difficult for me to go on stage not looking better than I did the last year. That was my whole mental thing, preparing for a contest. I'm going to look better than last show.
Yeah.
And I had to go in a contest looking worse than I did ever. And that was just a real strain on my mental attitude. And I found out I was bipolar, too, which I didn't know until I got into this thing with the commercial drugs I was using.
Yeah.
And that came from also with the Vince McMahon. We had no place to make money at. We had nothing to do but 2 contests a year. So we had too much time in between.
Yeah.
In between, and what we're going to do, we're going to eat at strip bars and, taking the beer here and take beer here. And then
so you had a lot of money and a lot to time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Taking some pills.
Devil makes work. Devil makes work.
And I fell into a very dark circle. Okay. And I was off the game for a lot of years. I ended up in the mental hospital, and I got clean, of course, and I found out I was bipolar.
Okay.
And everything kind of came together then. I understood in my life what had been going through my life, because I was always, like, if people know of me, I'm the happiest, nicest guy in the gym, they always say,
Yeah.
But I had another side. I had another side to me that when I was 15, 16, 17, I was in a gang. And when I was in the gang, I was a leader at Inglewood. I don't want to say the gang name, it's not important, but I was in a gang leader, and I had to. When you're a leader, you got to always outdo. You got to stay on top. Like Mr. Olympia, you got to always stay on top. So I would always do something bad. Either slap somebody or sock somebody or It was really negative stuff I went through in the gang. And I just was in a dark place. There's two sides of me, bipolar. I got on some medication. They helped me get on some medications, and that helped me figure out and feel what I was feeling and why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And I came up with a happy medium instead of being manic in the high part and low depressed. I came up with the happy medium is what they helped me get. And because people know me, I come to the gym, I'm always happy. That was the magic thing. I was going to the gym, I could work out and lift the whole gym. I do 2,000-pound leg press for 10 pounds easy.
Wow.
I would go out of town to Europe for 3 or 4 months, come back to the gym, see Gary Stridham, jump up under the squats for 500 pounds, do 10 reps. Just to mess with him,
Yeah.
I've done that too.
Oh, wow, okay.
Just to mess with Gary. I put up 500 10 times. Boom, boom,
really?
Boom. It's all mental, of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I've done that. But it was a tough life. I got myself back together, and life went on.
So what was the turning point for you? Was there a particular turning point or something that pivotal that changed in your life for you to put you on a different path, or was it just a gradual recovery?
Well, it was actually me figuring out what was wrong with me first.
Sorry, Mike. Can you just Mike. Sorry, can you just move back a bit? We want to get you in the camera.
Yes.
Cheers, thanks.
Thank you.
I want to see your face.
It was actually me getting stable first.
Okay.
So I stabilized my life. I could see what was up and downs, and the ups and downs that was going on. So that stabilized me. So then I saw that I had to find God. I needed a higher power. My higher power was Jesus Christ. So I found Jesus. I found God. I went to church. I went to meetings. First, I went to meetings every day. That helped me find God through the AA meetings, and I found God, and that helped me put things in perspective, and see that He's first. And if anything goes that bad, it's not that bad. It may look really bad, but you can get help, and you can ask the Lord for help, and He'll help you. So that helped me out a lot. My faith helped me out tremendously. How
long would you say you've been in a good place for?
I was in a bad place for 7 years.
7.
I didn't touch any iron for 7 years.
Okay.
7 years.
So you'd say you're in a good place now, though.
Oh yeah, I'm in a wonderful place now. Yeah, I had to get out of California.
Yeah.
California will eat you up and chew you out.
I think it has a lot of people over the years.
Yes, everything going on.
Temptation.
You got so many people. Yes, they have gimmicks. They have ideas. Everybody's an actor or an agent. They want to do something for you. And basically what they are, they're preying on you.
Yeah.
They know you have money. They come to this place where they have money. They have these fake business cards, like they're whoever they say they are. And they want to help you just to get money from you. So California was really difficult for me because you couldn't find out who your real friends are.
Okay.
Who's your real friend? When you're in California, you don't know who you have your real friends. The only way you find out who your real friends are is when you actually have a hard time. Okay. Then you find out who your real friends are. And that's what I did.
So you're still good friends with Charles and who else?
Oh, Charles, Rick Valente, Robbie Robinson, Phil Williams, of course, down there. Jay Cutler's down there. I don't know, so many.
Yeah. So after 1992, why did you never come back to the IFBB?
I came back. Why didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, I never went back to the IFBB. From 90, I never went back.
Why didn't you?
Oh, I did not, because I knew it was. And I think I was, believe it or not, if you can check, but I think I was the only one that did not come back. Everybody came back with me.
That's right.
And I was, because of what I had been through and stuff, and what I had been through and went through, that I knew that I didn't want to put myself through that again. Okay. And I was doing okay with my clothing. Remember, I had my sportswear company.
I was just about to come to that.
Yeah. 35 years, thank God. 35 years. I was making millions of dollars.
Mike, you've had a few sales from me over the years.
Yeah. 35 years, thank God.
Wow.
I was in Nordstrom's department stores in California, all around the world. I was doing $1 million a year with Nordstrom's. Wow. I was doing $1 million a year with Big Five Sporting Goods. Yeah. I went to big accounts. Then I was doing almost $1 million a year on the beach, just on the Boardwalk Beach. I was making 10 grand.
Really?
50 grand cash a weekend. They were by selling because people come from all over the world.
Yeah.
And they go right up and down Venice Beach. Venice Beach,
Mike,
the boardwalk.
Mike, I just
and
want to.
they be selling my pants like hotcakes, man.
Mike, I want to explain something to our newbie producer here. You know remember the really loud baggies? This is the guy that started them.
Yeah, I created it.
This was the guy that created the loud baggies that if you look at any magazines from the 80s, the early 90s, it was platinum wear. That was your company. Tell us how you started that.
Yeah, well, I started because I couldn't wear the conventional sweatpants.
Why?
Yeah, they just didn't look good on me. They were ugly. They were too tight in the thighs.
just a style thing.
I wanted something to look good on me and was comfortable.
Yeah.
And so I came up with my Platinum Everywhere sportswear.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like boat neck tie necks. Could show my traps. I have good traps. I always want to show my traps.
Yep.
I got low cuts on the necks, small in the waist. So we have small waists, big in the legs, baggy thighs, and then small at the ankles. So your calf, your whole thigh, and just made you look good. Showed your physique. Yeah. So that's why I created a company. It was something that was actually comfortable and looked good, and that it became a California trend. Yes. And you know what's so funny, guys? I never really went to school for marketing or anything like that. So what I did is I gave my pants to each of the professional bodybuilders, and they in turn would travel around the world and wear them to wherever guest posing or seminar or whatever they were doing. Yeah. And people would ask about them. Where are them crazy California pants from? And so my Christmas, it just took off like hotcakes. It was unbelievable. It was a fad for 10, 15 years.
So what did you start it by yourself, completely by yourself? Or?
Yes, by myself. I had people wanting the best all the time. I said no. Oh, really? It was my baby. I ended up selling it to somebody in Europe after it started going down and everything goes down at one point. I should have sold it when it was high, but I didn't. It started going down, and they started going to different stuff. The fads are the fads. They like you one day, next day you like something else. But I had a good run.
You had a good run. You're happy with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, one thing I noticed a lot. You used to pop up in films every now and again. I remember watching the film the Money. Remember the Money Pit? The Money Pit. I remember watching it, and I was thinking, and it's a scene about this house that this couple do up. It's a comedy from the late 80s, isn't it? And it's basically a money pit, and then all of a sudden these Hell's Angels turns up on bikes, don't they?
Yeah.
And Mike was one of them.
Yeah, I did that. I did.
Can you sit back? Sorry. Just for the just want to get your head in. That's all. Yeah. Thanks.
Married with Children. I did episodes on that. I was a bouncer.
Yeah.
I did Diana Ross Muscles video. Muscles, leave one muscle.
Yeah.
I was in that video. Fridays, it was a comedy show like Saturday Night Live. It was called Fridays. On the episode of that, I did quite a few. Guys, I really kind of regret it now. My wife tells me let it go and don't bring it up, but I always say because I still get texts for some of those things now.
Oh, really?
Yes. They still send me texts. Not real big texts, they're little texts. Yeah. From Married with Children, TV shows and stuff, whatever you do, they still send
royalties.
20 years, 30 years later, you still get that check. It's not big, it goes smaller, but I get a check. Wow. Every time I look at that check, I get so upset. I'm saying, man, if I would have pursued that, let go bodybuilding, pursued the acting.
You've got that charisma, you've got that personality, because obviously the main Gold's Gym guy that went on to do quite well was Arnold.
Yes, sir.
I think most people know his name. And then obviously you had the Barbarian brothers who did the Barbarians, and then they were good. They were fun. I loved the Barbarians. That was one of my favorite films when I was a kid. And then obviously because you were right in the best spot really to kind of be spotted or have your personality, or it's probably the best place to be, isn't it? Absolutely, yeah. I had charisma. If you look at the game now, not too many people have charisma now. Since Arnold, Tom Platz, very few. You look at, I'm not putting anybody down, but you look at the 7-time Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman, 8-time Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman, Lee Haney, all those guys that are still, and they're great guys. They're great guys, but they don't have charisma. They don't have that. I think Phil and Ronnie do. I think Phil. I did a tour with Phil last year, and he's definitely got charisma.
You think he does?
No, it definitely has. Yeah. Okay. So wow. Okay. So did you ever want to pursue it more, or did you?
I didn't pursue it. I wanted to pursue it more.
Yeah.
But it was bodybuilding took all of my time up. But
Okay.
bodybuilding and my clothing line, between those two, both of those
Yeah.
making money. And the movie things, you got to go start small and build yourself up.
Yeah.
He wasn't giving you no big $1 million parts off the top.
Of course.
They wanted you to do a little walk-in part and just say hi, and and then you build yourself up and become an actor. And I wanted to pursue it, but I didn't pursue it, and I kicked myself in the butt nowadays.
Hang on a minute. You could still act now. I could see you in like a CSI or something, as an undercover cop in LA.
Yeah, I told I could have been like The Rock. I think I swear.
You still could, Mike. I'm set, mate. But what I'm saying is, I think you still could, mate.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about. Actually, there's one question I wanted to ask. You remember that you were talking earlier on about you were the only one that didn't come back to the IFBB after the other guys did. Do you think Aaron Baker always got screwed because he was in the WBF?
Absolutely, no question.
Because there was like a year he got 12th, a year he got 9th. Every show he did, pretty much, it was like, hang on a minute. If you go back and look at the pictures of Aaron Baker, you'll be scratching your head, won't you? At all the shows he did when he came back from the WBF.
Yes, sir. Everybody that was in the WBF that came back, they blackballed us. They wouldn't let us go in the contest for years. They finally let us come back, and when we came back, they screwed us. And that's what I was not going to allow happen to me, Giles. I was not going to come back and let them screw me around and then me get depressed and put myself in a bad place again. It wasn't worth it. I was making money with my clothing line. I was doing okay, so it was an easy choice.
Yeah.
Me and the Weeders had our good points and bad points, and he told me how he felt, and it wasn't going to happen the way I wanted it. So it was time for me to go on.
Okay. Well, for many years you were kind of not seen in the industry, and now you're on Instagram. You're on Mike's on social media now, and you seem to be. You're popping up at shows, having pictures with some of the bodybuilders, and they all look excited to see you. What brought you? What brought you back? Because you're back training and you look good. I've seen all the pictures on Instagram. 65, he looks amazing. So when did you start back training? When did you start back wanting to go back to the shows? What drew you back?
Thank you. That's a great question. Well, when I came I moved from California to here in Texas. That was because of my daughter. My daughter, Kiva Christian, she told Dad, it's time for you to get out of there, come up here with me, and let's make a new start. Okay. So I came up here, and I hadn't lifted weights for 7 years, and she said, Dad, you got to get back in the gym.
Your daughter?
Back in the gym, I don't think so. So she talked me into it.
Wow.
They turned my hand, and got back and talked me into it. Yeah. And I went to the gym. I started enjoying it again. I started responding real fast. People started recognizing me. It took a while. They didn't recognize me for the first, I don't know, probably the first year. After a year,
really?
You're the Mike Christian. Your name is, man, I didn't know that was you. And,
I tell you, it's when your triceps started growing back. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. Exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't take long either.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
But I came back and I got my life together, and it was just so funny. She talked me into going into the Mr. Olympia. I said, no, baby. I said, no. I was basically, guys, I was embarrassed, because what I went through, and I said, I didn't want to face people,
So are you on about are you on about attending all the Masters Olympia?
Yes.
Just attending to watch. You didn't want to attend.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So I went back in 2004. Went back to watch the show. Yeah. And I saw Lee Haney. When Lee Haney saw me, he just. Because people didn't know what happened to me, guys. I was gone for 7 years. Nobody heard anything about me. I didn't show up in these gyms, no telephone, no friends. I didn't contact anybody. 7 years of nothing. So when Lee Haney saw me, it was so unbelievable. He grabbed me, he hugged me, and he wept. He wept for 10 minutes. He hugged me, he wouldn't let me go. He would help me for 10 minutes. He was talking in my ear. I said, okay, leave me. He wouldn't let me go. But I think it was because guys said, a lot of the guys, I kind of touched a lot of people a lot of different ways. And they felt like I was gone, and they could never tell me how much I meant to them. the things I did for them. I babysat Lee Haney when he first came to Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
I helped. Oh, yes. He called me his babysitter.
Well, like mid-'80s.
I showed him around. Yeah, I showed him around the place to the vitamins, the food to eat, the gyms. I took him, him and his wife to the beach, So I was and Matt Mendenhall did him like that, did everybody like that. I was there, I worked at a hotel, a Kensington Hotel then. And I was like, the mascot there. So I would take everybody around and show them how to where the proper places to eat and the vitamins and the supplements and train. And the Gold's Gym, the World Gym was right around the corner from Gold's, of course.
Do you ever go back? Do you ever go back to California?
I go back all the time. I go back once a year. I have a son there in Palmdale, California. I have a son that's 22. So I go back and see him at least once a year, and I stop my Gold's Gym every single time. I was just there last year. And if you guys remember, 2017, they inducted me into the Bodybuilding Hall of Fame.
Okay,
which, oh, the highlight of my life.
Was it?
A lot of people there around the beach, and they presented me with a nice plaque, and it was beautiful.
Oh,
so you go on the beach anytime, in the next 100 years, you go on the beach, you'll see my plaque on there. Mike Christian, Mr. World, Mr. Universe, Mr. World. So that's a pretty cool thing, Giles. I'm really pretty proud of that,
It's nice to hear that you've gone back to a place that, that you kind of wanted to get away from at a certain point in your life.
Yes, sir.
So you're saying you've got mostly positive emotion from going back to that place where a lot of stuff in your life happened, good and bad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a tough. And I always tell my wife, I said, boy, if I could just go back down there and live, I said I would make so much money because I'm basically doing personal training here in little events here.
Oh, okay.
Few events here. I do some talking, motivational talks. So
I didn't know that.
I told her if I came down to Gold's Gym and train, I'd be like Charles Glass. I would be the #1 trainer there. I'd make so much money. I make, you know how the life is down there, all the stars and the Gold's Gym and entertainers. So I would do very well.
So you obviously you're back training and you enjoying your training nowadays?
I love my training. I love training. I love coaching people, and that's what I'm doing. Let everybody guys know I'm an online coacher.
Do you want to tell us?
Available.
I mean, we'll bring up your Instagram.
Okay. I'll give my email number.
Okay, we'll bring up your Instagram name as well on the screen.
What do you say?
We'll bring up your Instagram name on the screen on the pop-up and everything.
Yes, sir.
So that's where people can reach you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm doing a lot of coaching, and that thing really gets me going. It turns me on because I can watch a person from scratch and what I can do to them, how I can develop them. It's like art. It's like an artist,
Yeah.
I'm drawing here. I'm taking away here. I'm putting some here. I'm making this pretty. I'm losing this. So I love doing that. I love the way that the people react to me when they start getting their body the way they want.
Mm-hmm.
They tell me what they want, and then within 3 or 4 months, and not 6 years, in 3 or 4 months, if you do the proper training, the proper diet, you can get that effectiveness that you want.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that lately, and I'm having a ball doing it. I love doing it.
Yeah. So
people are getting results like crazy.
Fantastic. You got any good proteges coming up, Neil? A little Iron Warriors?
No, I don't have any. I have a son that's 22.
Okay.
I have a daughter that's 32. I have a son. One son is 22. One is 32. Yep. One is 42. 10 years. Okay. You believe that, Giles? Every 10 years I had
So okay. Well, when you do the next one?
I think that was because I felt that to have another child, you had to have X amount of dollars.
Okay.
So I didn't feel I was there yet. It took me 10 years to have enough money to have 2.
Yeah.
And another 10 years to have 3. That's how it worked, Yeah. So I got 3 kids every 10 years. 22, 32, and 42.
Okay, that's interesting. Over 2 decades.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Tell us about this motivational speaking. I'm interested to hear about this.
Oh, I do it for kids. I'm a motivational speaker for kids. I try to get them out of their situations they're in, especially if they're in the gang or violent situations that I went through when I was in the gang. And they like speaking to me because I am hands-on and I come from the same background they do. It ain't somebody talking about what somebody else did. I did this. I hit this person. I slapped this person. I stole this. I did this. I did what you did. You haven't done anything that haven't I done. and look what I've made it.
Yeah.
You know, I've been one of the top bodybuilders in the world. I won Mr. America, Mr. Universe, Mr. World. You know, I had $1 million sports bar company. You know, I had houses, I had apartments, I had sixplexes. You know, I've made it. You know, I made it. You know, I made it. You know,
Mike,
so I said, if I can do it, you can.
I honestly can't think of a better mentor than you for someone, you know, like a young kid in a disadvantaged area, or someone who's been pulled into a gang, or somebody just wants a bit of direction and purpose in your life. I can't think of someone better than you that has kind of had such a journey in their life and have been through so many things and have been success in different areas of your life. You've had challenge, you've had, you know, you've had down periods, but you've pulled yourself through it, and you're still smiling. You're still smiling. You're still loving life, and it's so wonderful to see, Mike, because, you know, going back to the start, like, you were one of my favorites when I started. You were the ones I really connected with when I was 14 years old. I'm now 43.
Wow.
So yeah. So from, like, for me, it's a real honor really to have, you know, for someone when I was 14 years old, and put your poster on the wall, to now be talking to you and to hear this, what you've been doing since 1990. It's brilliant.
Wow.
It's really inspiring, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's really,
and that comes up to why I'm doing the book I'm doing now. I'm doing the motivational talk for the kids all the time, but now I'm really working on the book.
You're writing a book?
And I had it already done. It was already finished. But then I decided to do a little something different. So what I would like to do now is, I want to do right now I got a book of 300 some pages. It says the ups and downs of my life, the gang, winning Mr. America, Mr. Universe, $1 million company, you know, traveling around the world, having 3 kids every 10 years, you know, all my
every 10 years.
all the creative things I did.
Yeah.
I was blessed to do.
It's all in there, and you've written it yourself.
Yes.
Wow.
So
when's it out?
It's all in the book, and so I'm going to make now. I decided to make a smaller copy. So I want to make a smaller copy just for the kids, and give it to high school and junior high schools for free. Give it a homework assignment to the kids.
Yeah.
So read the book, not a real big book, a smaller book.
That they can digest.
On, and let them read and learn about it and try to get their life together. I'll see how you make money and how you kind of, go this way. The whole thing on, like you said, I think it's very helpful for kids, because everybody grows up and everybody has a right and a wrong way, or left and a right way to turn. If you turn right, boy, it can be messed you up for years, so you can end up dead. I have my best friend, Tookie. He was in the gang. He ended up, Arnold Schwarzenegger put him to death. So, and I, instead of going that way with Tookie, I turned the other way. He went that way, I went this way. And he would have been a great bodybuilder, Giles.
Yeah.
Tookie Williams, I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he would have been unbelievable. He had a physique like Sergio Olivia.
Oh, really?
Small waist, I swear to God. I say not. Small waist, big chest, big arms, legs, calves, everything.
Well, go back to the book. I think you could be changing, even if you changed 10 young people's lives, then then it's really going to be worth it, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It could change the direction of many young people's lives. So yeah, I commend you for doing that, mate. I really, really do.
Thank you, Bing.
Mike, I think I feel like we've covered everything I want to cover. I was going to start talking about the modern pros, and I think, do you know what? I'm more interested in hearing your story, and you've really been so honest and open, and I really I knew this was going to be a good one, and I knew I had to get you on for the 50th episode. So, Mike, any YouTube, anything else you want to talk about? Anything you want to plug?
I'm working on all that now. All that is coming.
Good.
Coming too. Yes.
Good to hear. Yeah. Okay, well,
Mike, thank you so much for having me on the show, especially the 50th show. I'm so happy to be on the 50th. No, serious, especially. Yeah. And you know what? When I came back, it was so funny, because when I came back after 7 years being off Giles, it was Joe Weider's 50th anniversary.
Oh, wow. Was that 95? 95?
Yes, 50 years. When I came back from the 7 years layoff, I came back, and it was so weird, because they had me come on stage. They brought me and all the, Mr. Olympias on stage. And they brought me, Sean Ray, Barry LeMay, Lee, Ronnie, everybody brought us all on stage. And they said once they brought me on stage and they had me come up, they said the internet just blew up like crazy.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew anything about me. They didn't know where I was for 7 years, and they actually saw me at the Mr. Olympia contest.
Okay.
And they saw me on the TV, on the whatever, the internet.
Hang on, was that
nuts?
Was that 2000? Nuts. That 2014?
Yes.
Or 2015, around that year, wasn't it?
14,
yeah.
14
Yes, I remember. Yeah, I remember writing.
Yeah. It was the 50th. Yeah, the 50th anniversary of Joe Weider.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, it's 65. Cool. 65 was the first one, and then 2014 would have been the 50th. Yeah. Wow. Okay, then, Mike.
And, it was funny, guys, because I was just in there. I just went on, bought a ticket. I didn't contact anybody. You said get free tickets. I get free tickets now, of course. But
of course.
That year, I was just so kind of down, and I had been on the scene for a while. I really didn't want people to know me or see me. I was kind of a little embarrassed a little bit, because of what I went through,
Yeah.
And so she talked me into going to the show. I went to the show, and I was just sitting in the audience.
Okay.
I never let anybody know I was there. I was just in the audience, and Robin Chang saw me sitting there, and he says, "Mike Christian, what are you doing here?"
Get up there.
Here. He grabbed me by a hand and took me backstage and put me on stage.
Did he?
That's when they started turning around.
So that was when you knew that the bodybuilding world really had welcomed you back and they'd missed you.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, that must have been a nice feeling. Must have been a nice feeling, mate.
Yes, it was a wonderful. When they said the internet blew up, and then Lee Haney cried, Charles Glass cried. I had like at least 10 guys cry.
I love it. Come on, guys, we're bodybuilders.
So they'll be happy to see me. I think all of them thought I wasn't, I wasn't going to make. I didn't make it.
Yeah.
And they probably all had feelings that they always wanted to tell me, because I helped people, would help a lot of people. I did a lot, so I had feelings that would say, "Mike, you were mine," whatever.
Yeah. You're an inspiration.
They couldn't say that, and then when they see me again, they said, "Yes." You get to, tell them how we feel about him,
Yeah, that's lovely. That's
a wonderful feeling, guys. Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mike. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. It's been a real pleasure.
Okay, and tell me how I can get a hold of this too.
I will. I'll send you the link tomorrow, mate. Don't worry.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Bye. Mike Christian, thank you very much.
Yes,
bye-bye.
Sir.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the RiZe Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we're joined for episode 50 of MD Global Muscle, the one and only Flex Wheeler. Yeah! I'm knocking the mic off.
You guys should have like a digital applause where everybody go crazy and all that,
Well, that's the beauty of post-editing, mate. We can put that in. So,
very true. Yeah. Very true, mate.
Flex, this is episode 50 of Global Muscle. We started the show at the end of 2018, and obviously you were one of my biggest names on the tick list of one of my favorite guests I've ever wanted to get on. So thank you for joining us, Flex. I truly appreciate it, mate.
No, the honor is all mine. And I remember when you started this back before, and I was like, what is he doing? This isn't going to work. But obviously, you were ahead of time with the digital situation, and now everybody's trying to do it. So kudos to you, and congratulations on your 15th episode. 2 years now.
50th now. Yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
50th. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. Now, Flex, the last time you and I we saw each other properly, apart from the Arnold Classic, was we did the wrap up at the Olympia. It's been an interesting 6 months for you. It's been a challenging 6 months for you. And I know this sounds like a general question, but how are you?
I'm doing great, mate. I'm doing great, man. I'm blessed. I'm starting back training now. I'm on I think next week I go and get my final version of my leg. I have a great sponsor. Prosthetic is sponsoring all of my work for my prosthetic leg. So
wow.
That's incredible. Yeah. And even kind of a mutual friend, Shaquille O'Neal, even reached out to me when I was in a hospital through a mutual friend and said, "Hey, Flex, I'll pay for your prosthetic leg. Let me know what it costs." So, kudos and respect to Shaquille for even offering that. But, thank God I got a sponsor. But everything's going great, mate. I'm blessed. I'm really weirdly, I guess, prideful that this happened to me, because now I have a platform to be able to help out a whole slew of a different type of followers and stuff like that. So I'm really honored to be an ambassador and to be able to help everybody else who have I won't say handicap, but just a little different circumstances.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, I mean, I filmed just on my phone when I was at the Arnold Classic when you presented the trophy to Harold Kelly, the wheelchair winner, and you did like a 3-4 minute speech. To be honest, had everyone speechless. I mean, it's like how you're speaking now. You're saying you're blessed, and it's like, how can you come through something so traumatic and challenging and really have? I think you had everyone convinced that, you know, that it was a real, genuine kind of feeling that you were, you know, saying I'm blessed and I feel okay, and I'm taking on a new role now.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I went through an incredible dark time. You know, I mean, who expects something like that to happen? You know what I mean? I've been an athlete all my life. I've been a martial artist for over 40 years, and obviously a bodybuilder for almost that same amount of time. And, you know, I mean, whoever thinks they're going to lose a leg, you know, and it's my strongest leg, you know, in bodybuilding. If you look at my photos, my right leg was my most powerful one. It was the one I always smashed down to show all the striations. If you know, if you look at any of my fights, my right leg was my dominant leg that I tried to take your head off. But, you know, I had been going through problems for since like 2007. So if you've seen me anywhere, you might have noticed that I limped a little bit, and I had been going through problems with my right leg. They couldn't figure out what was going on. I'm going into all these quack doctors all over the place, all these scientists and this, that, and other, and they're like, "Oh, you tore a ligament," or, you know, "It's a stiff muscle." And I even went to the ER twice. In 2008, it got really bad. I finally almost got angry at my doctor. I almost cussed him out. And I was like, "Listen, I'm not stupid. I've been a world-class athlete all my life. This is something worse than that." And he had me going for an MRI. And within like 5 minutes, the lady found it. And not to be long-winded, but, you know, she just broke down in tears. And that made me very emotional, because I'm like, you know, what is it that you see? And obviously those technicians aren't supposed to talk to you or tell you anything, but I pleaded with her and begged. I'm like, "Please tell me, what is it you see?" And she just said, "You know, do you have a stent in your calf, in your right leg?" And I'm like, "No, I have a stent in my groin area for my kidney transplant, you know, 16 years ago." She goes, "No, you have a stent in your leg." I'm like, "No, I don't." She goes, "Listen, either you have a stent in your leg, or I'm looking at the biggest blood clot I've ever seen in my life." And that just freaked me out. And I just burst in.
Flex, what's a stint? Sorry, I explain.
A stent is like what I have in my groin area. It's like it's a replacement of your artery. So it's a plastic valve that replaces an artery or major vein.
Oh, like a heart stint.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
So, you know, at that point, she called stat, which means, you know, it's an emergency. I had to stay there for a couple hours. They contacted my doctor. You know, again, long story short, they released me. I got home. My doctor called me, and he was like, "Where are you?" And I go, "I just pulled up in my driveway." And he goes, "Shh." I go, "What?" He goes, "I'm surprised you even made it home, Flex."
Really?
I'm like, what do you mean?" He goes, "You don't understand how dangerous this is. You know, I go, "Doc, you know, I'm supposed to be flying to Australia." This is when I was supposed to go to the Australia Honor Classic last year.
Okay.
So that kind of gives you a timeline of where everything is. And he said, "Listen, if I was you, I wouldn't get on that flight." I go, "You know, hey, man, this is how I make my money, to start provide for my family. My ticket is already paid for. My flight is already booked. If I don't go, I'm going to be in a problem. On top of that, I need to make this money. You know, I got guaranteed money that I'm making." And he said, "You know what? I'm going to say it again. If I was you, I wouldn't get on this flight." I go, No, Doc, you know, I'll be okay. I'm on first class. The bed road all the way down 90 degrees.
Yeah.
He goes, "Okay, Flex, I see you're hard hit. I'm just going to come out and say it. If you get on that flight, you're not going to get off the same way you got on." And I got really quiet. And again, you know, I started crying. And he said, "We need to get you on blood thinners immediately." So they put me on blood thinners. The next day I woke up and I was trying to pack because I was still going to go. You know, not that I'm a hardhead, but I experienced trauma before. We're athletes. We're world-class athletes. We've been through stuff before, but the pain was at this time was so severe I couldn't even walk to pack my bags. And I remember sitting on my bed, and I just remember just thinking, how in the world am I going to do this? I can't even walk anymore. How am I going to be able to go there? And later on that night, my whole right leg went numb, and that freaked me out. My left arm went numb, then my groin area went numb, and it was about 10 o'clock at night. And I called my doctor to go, listen, man, my groin is numb, my right leg is numb, my arm is numb. He cut me off. He's like, get to the emergency room right now. And I like, man, I've been in those quack emergency rooms twice already. He goes, just get there immediately and tell them you have a DVT. I was like, what is a DVT mean? He goes, you know what, Flex, you don't have time. You need to get there right now. So I got there, and things went bad really fast. They ended up inducing me into a coma. The coma was just supposed to be for just a couple of days. I ended up being in a coma for over 10 days, and I was in the hospital for over 4 months.
What was the date of this?
The date was that it was the day that I was supposed to fly out to Australia. So
April?
I think it was on so it was that Wednesday before the show.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't get out of the hospital until June.
Yeah. But you look so well at the Olympia when we did the wrap-up. You're looking, because I said, you're looking good, Flex. You look training hard, and you look so well. I don't get it, because I saw in your social media saying October you're having real problems. I'm thinking, well, that must have been literally days after I saw him at the Olympia looking terrific.
Yeah. No, I went to the Olympia. I was in extreme amount of pain. And again, listen, I have to work, right?
Yeah.
And who's going to care about you complaining? Me and my business partner had a booth there at Back Widow. And, I remember walking into the venue. I was in so much pain. I was trying to walk as slow as possible. And for any of my fans, if you ever just seen me sitting on steps or something like that, it's because I had to take a break. I was just cringing in pain. And even sitting in a booth, I remember I just sat down because the pain was just too incredible. Actually, I went to the night show, and actually when I seen Shaquille and I said hi, and everybody kind of has seen my pictures that I post. It's like, wow, you're doing great. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing great. And we thought they saved the leg at that time. But I knew something was wrong then. I knew in my heart that they didn't save the leg because the pain was just too great. And here's the kicker. Obviously, unfortunately, Columbus died, right? Arnold had personally invited me to come to the funeral. So I drove all the way down from Las Vegas to the funeral, turned around, drove that night all the way back to Las Vegas, and then took a flight to Billings, Montana for a business meeting. And that's when all hell broke loose. The pain was just way too much. So from Billings, I flew back to Vegas and went directly to the ER. And that's when they told me that 90% of part of my artery on my right leg had completely blocked, and 100% of the other artery. And, we've been telling you this was going to happen. Nobody can make this decision. You got to make the call. And I just said, take it. They goes, are you sure? Yeah, take it. I can't walk. The pain is too crazy. It's not worth it anymore. And I go, on top of that, if you're telling me that 100% is blocked and 90% is blocked on the other part, what if it breaks off? That could kill me. It could go to my heart. It could go to my brain. And I just said, take it. So it was very traumatic. I went through hell in a hospital. I was angry. I was infuriated with God. I was very angry. I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't take these crazy drugs that everybody else do. I'm retired. I don't do any of that. And it was a bunch of why me, a bunch of self-pity. But honestly, bro, within the day after they took my leg, I told myself, when I wake up, if I look down there and see that my leg is gone and I'm okay with it mentally, I'm going to be okay. If I wake up and I look down there and I'm freaked out, it's going to be a hard ride. Well, when I woke up, I looked down, I was like, it's okay, but I was wrong. I hadn't realized the trauma, the tragedy that happened. So, but I made an agreement with myself. I go, hey, man, you're still here.
Yeah.
You've always had to fight for your life. You're homeless, molested, suicidal all your life, kidney transplant. You still have a rare disease. I still have a rare kidney disease that nobody lives by. But you've always had a fight. So you just have to look at this as another fight, Flex.
Yeah.
And I started being able to deal with it a little bit more mentally. And, I would have my dark moments. I mean, to be honest with you, when I got home, it really hit me because every picture in my home, I have 2 legs.
Oh.
And I would look at all these pictures, and I'll be like, wow, how beautiful is that to have 2 legs? You know, I looked at my wedding pictures. I looked at my pictures with my son playing football. I looked at my iconic bodybuilding pictures, like, wow, you know, 2 legs are just so beautiful. And I got in a really dark time. It was really hard. And I remember just sitting there sobbing. And I just told myself, if I'm going to be a spokesperson for people who've been through some hard time, I have to really go through the ugliness of this and conquer it if I'm going to sit there in front of other people who've gone through that. And since then, you know, I'm doing a lot better. I'm back to training. I'm getting ready to start traveling as soon as this release and everything like that. So, you know, life goes on, mate. Life goes on. I'm still here. Even with this COVID-19, so many people have passed away. I'm still here. I'm still blessed. I may only have 1 leg, but there's people who have no legs. There's people who have no arms, no legs. So I'm still blessed. So, you know, you got to look at the sliding ruler. There's always somebody out there who has it worse than you. And I can't sit here and have pity on myself.
I could see the way that Harold Kelly was listening to you when you talk. I've watched the videos a few times since before this interview. And I really, has he reached out to you? Because obviously there's a guy who went through something arguably even, you know, literally he's paralyzed from the, you know, the chest down and stuff. It's like, have you reached out to each other, or has he offered any words of support or encouragement? Or
who is this?
Harold Kelly, you know, the wheelchair.
No, I haven't heard from him from Nan. But I know I've talked to him offline and obviously Bionic Body, from Paris. He was one of the first people that I reached out to because I was trying to learn about a prosthetic leg, and I wanted to learn from somebody who had one. And he was really kind. He reached back out to me, goes, "Hey, Flex," he goes, "honestly, I can't help you. I lost my legs when I was just a child.
Okay.
You know, I have no idea what you're going through. You know, you've reached such greatness with your legs. I've always been like this since I've known, so I can't really help you." And even Harold, I understand his happened in a tragedy and so on. So, but I have had tremendous people reach out to me all over the world, giving me their insight and everything. But the honest truth is, it doesn't matter. You got to find your way. You got to navigate your way. It's like you're a parent, right? Do you have a child?
No.
Oh, no. Shame on you. Anyway, no. No, my point is this. Kudos to you, brother. Good job.
Any ladies out there who want to breed with me, just give me a DM.
But even having a girlfriend or a wife or anything, there's no book written on how to get along with your spouse. There's just books on how to get along in relationships. So it doesn't really attack you and what you have to go through personally. So, you know, it's just like everything else. I got to find my ways. I got to navigate my ways through these waters. And that's what I'm doing.
You know what, Flex? When it first happened, I thought, because I know you and obviously Ronnie Coleman, you're such good friends. I speak to Ronnie frequently, and he always talks so highly of you, Flex. And I thought, obviously, with what Ronnie's gone through, with we've seen in the documentary, and we know as friends, and we know in the media what he's been through with his back and his hips and all the different problems. Has he? I mean, I know you speak frequently. Have you managed to connect and kind of help support each other when he had his problems and you had yours?
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Every problem he had, every surgery, I would contact him. We would pray. When he would be under, I would be in contact with his wife. I'd be sending him messages.
Yeah.
As soon as he was able to talk while he was in the hospital, we would talk. I mean, Ronnie is one of my closest mates in the world. You guys have seen that in the interview that I did with you. You know, but the interesting thing is, it's really odd. As much as Ronnie's been through, he had contacted me maybe about a month ago.
Okay.
And at first he just apologized that he hadn't been in contact. He goes, "You know, man, you know I love you." He goes, "But I don't know what to say, Flex. You know, my heart don't know what to say to you."
Yeah.
I was like, "You know, Ronnie, it's okay." And he goes, "Man, but I want to ask you a question." I go, "What?" He goes, "When I was in the hospital, my last surgery," he goes, I got a blood clot also." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, man, I got a blood clot." I go, "Damn, Ronnie, really?" I go, "Okay." He goes, "What caused you lose your leg?" I go, "A DVT. That's deep vein thrombosis. It's basically a major blood clot."
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh my God, really?" He goes, "Man," I go, okay. I go, Ronnie, you might want to take that really serious. He said, well, man, the reason why I'm really calling you is I got a trip, and then I was supposed to be going out of the country in a couple of days. And I was like, Ronnie, don't do it. I was like, don't do it. Don't get on that flight. I go, I know you have a job to do. I love you. I go, but you're not hurting for money. I go, your kids, your family, you're not hurting for money. I go, don't get on that flight. I go, I beg you, brother, don't get on that flight. I go, once you get that under control, you'll be able to travel and everything. But if this just recently happened, I beg you, don't get on that flight. I go, the potential chance of what could happen, I don't even want to say.
Yeah.
I take your word for it, Flex. He goes, I'm a counselor. I go, you promise? He goes, yeah, I'm not going to go.
Really?
Yeah, he goes, I promise I'm not going.
Wow.
And he didn't go to the flight, so he goes, man, well, I got to be honest with you, Flex. You're stronger than I am. I go, Ronnie, all the surgeries you've been through, are you kidding? He goes, well, you've been through way more surgeries than I have. He goes, but no matter what, I've never been through a surgery like this. He goes, bro, I don't think I'd make it. I go, Ronnie, I'm like, you're one of the strongest mental people. He goes, bro, I never lost nothing. I'm just saying, man, you're a strong man. I'm not sure if I could handle it the way you have. And I was like, thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate that, man. I go, let's pray that you never have to. I go, but other than that, I mean, like Dennis James, he flew down to see me. Actually, one of my old competitors flew in. Actually, when I had my kidney transplant, he just flew in. I didn't even know he was coming. I'd heard from him in 10 years, and I don't even know how he knew that I was having my leg amputated. But I remember waking up one day after my amputation, and there he's sitting in my room. JJ Marsh.
JJ Marsh.
JJ Marsh.
Wow, 1991 Ironman Pro winner.
Yeah, so I got to give a shout out to I don't know how he found out that I had my kidney transplant, but I woke up in my room at Cedar Sinai in Los Angeles, and there he's sitting. And I was on horrific drugs.
Yeah.
And I know I was hallucinating, and I woke up and I was like, JJ, is that you?
Is that you?
He's like, yeah, man. Oh, sorry, I got some background music. Somebody's doing their lawn. Let me close the garage door.
No worries, mate. No worries.
Garage doing a workout. Hold on.
Okay, no problem. Relegated to the garage.
I forgot you guys can edit it anyway.
Yeah, so we're fine. Don't worry about that, mate.
How's that? Is that any better?
That's perfect. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
So I wake up and I'm like, JJ, is that you?
Yeah.
He goes, it's me, Flex. I'm like, how did you find out? He goes, man, I just heard a rumor and I found out. I reached out to the hospital. They told me it was you, and I got on the flight, and I'm like, wow, JJ, I can't believe it. And I remember talking, and I remember waking up and he wasn't there anymore. And I was like, man, I'm hallucinating again. And then, a few months later, he texts me. I go, JJ, were you really in the hospital? He goes, yeah, mate, I was there. And I'm like, wow. And then after my kidney transplant, I mean, my amputation, I wake up and he's sitting in the room, and I'm like,
yeah.
And I'm like, JJ, is that you?
Yeah.
He goes, it's me, brother. And I just started crying.
Yeah. Wow.
I was just like, wow, man. He goes, man, I love you. I'm here for your support. And again, I fell back to sleep and woke up and he was gone. But yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, Dennis James, obviously everybody knows what Dennis James by setting up the GoFundMe. And I remember he called me and he goes, Flex, I'm going to set this GoFundMe up for you. And I'm like, no way. He goes, why? And I'm like, no way, man. I'm not begging for money. And I got to be honest. He goes, Flex, he goes, stop being a, effing, stop being an effing punk.
You can swear. It's okay.
I'm like, dude, look at the situation. You're going to cut me out?
Yeah.
And he goes, Flex, man, you help people all over the world. Why don't you stop being a punk and let people help you? And I finally said, yeah. So kudos to Dennis, but a lot of people have reached out, and I got to be honest. On the other end, I won't say their names, but certain people who I thought I was close to in the bodybuilding community reached out and said, "Hey, I'm going to come see you," and I never seen them. They never came, And then there's other people who've never contacted me, and maybe 5 months later they sent me a text like, brother, I'm bleeding for you. I just don't know what to say. I can't call you.
It's difficult for some people to know whether it's like when someone dies, you think, well, it can be very hard to know how to deal with things like that. People respond different emotionally to different things.
Right. I agree. And I know, and I guess just for myself, because I've been through such traumatic things, I know it's more difficult for that person going through what they're going through than it is for you to call them. But, I just respect all I mean, I've gotten messages from the bodybuilding community all over the world. It's been amazing. Millions of messages. Obviously, the Lormer family reached out to me and brought me to the Honor Classic.
Yeah, it was good to see you there. It was good to see you there, Flex.
Yeah, and they have already sent me a message like, block off next year. We're bringing you again.
Wow.
Sorry that, it was shut down a little bit, but we're going to bring you back out. So I appreciate everybody's support. I just want to say personally, everybody for their support. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for everybody who contributed to the GoFundMe account. That really helped. Unfortunately, I ended up losing my insurance during that time. So, I mean, you're talking millions and millions of dollars.
Really?
Medical bills, it's crazy.
Whoa. So, I'm thinking, are you glad now that you made that comeback in 2017?
Yeah, I am, because, I know a lot of people, and again, I know we can edit, but let me know if that gets too loud. I can go in the house.
It's fine. Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. It's okay.
No, I'm happy that I did that. Like I said when I stood on stage, this wasn't about competing. This wasn't about trying to be the best I could. This was about people who have been through horrific and horrible dark times, being a kidney transplant patient, having a rare disease. I still have the disease FSGS. When I had my kidney transplant, I had 9 surgeries in 11 weeks. I almost died from.
Whoa.
I was in a hospital for almost a year trying to recover. I had major back surgeries from that time. I tore both of my shoulders, being all that stuff. And I'm already a very emotional person, so I've always dealt with suicidal and dark thoughts. So I just wanted to stand on stage for one, to say goodbye to everybody, because I didn't get the chance to say goodbye to a sport that I love and gave me so much. That gave me that opportunity, but also just to show everybody who my message reached, hey man, you don't have to lay down and take this. You can still fight. Maybe you don't want to be on stage, but maybe you just want to go and walk down the street. Maybe you just want to just get up out of bed. Maybe, just to give them aspirations. So, no, that was great. And actually, I had the doctors monitoring me, my blood levels and everything, and I have all those. I could show you my numbers. My numbers was through the roof because I was eating so well.
Yeah, Flex.
I was so healthy.
Can I jump in, because it's just triggered a memory, because at the 2017 Olympia, I got your friend Stan Efferding and I interviewed him. And at the interview was supposed to be with Stan, about Stan, and go back and watch it, search 2017 Olympia, Stan Efferding interview, and the whole interview was talking about you, and like you said, how good your blood work was, and your readings. I'll find it after we've done this interview, and I'll send you the link.
You better send it to me. You better send it to me, or I'm gonna have some of my mates come over there, and they're gonna give you a go around. I got some boys over in different parts of England. I don't want to say anything, but I'm gonna send them to your house. I expect that video within the next week, mate. All right?
I promise on camera now. I'll send it tonight. I will, because it's on camera. It's because Stan, we kind of got into the subject and we never actually got off it, because I was so happy to hear, because I'll be honest, Flex. I'll be honest. When I heard that you were competing at the 2017 Olympia, now you're saying now the reason why you did it, and we've all heard since. I wasn't one of the ones that thought you should have come back. I thought, hang on a minute, the kidney thing, what is he doing? Is he crazy? But then when I spoke to Stan and he told me that, I was turned around on the subject completely.
Yeah, no, it was a beautiful thing. It was the easiest preparation I ever had. We messed up at the end, because if you've seen videos of me getting ready about 2-3 weeks out, I was still weighing about 223, and I was just so full and shredded. I mean, certain body parts never looked that good on stage. And I was like, oh my God, I would kill these guys, right?
Flex, Stan showed me
Stan
showed me some pictures when we were at the pre-judging for the classic when you were out there, and he came over, he shimmied over, and he showed us some pictures, and I was like, whoa, when was that? And he said, oh, this was a couple of weeks ago. He looked great, you know.
Yeah,
really good.
I really messed up at the end because I didn't think it would be a hard challenge to dip down to 210, and then I figured I'd bounce back up to 220 or so.
Yeah.
But when I weighed in, I didn't think about it at the time. I just lost track of everything. I was emotional. I couldn't believe it. I was going to be on stage again. So when I weighed in, I didn't want to take my clothes off because I don't want to reveal what I look like, right?
Oh, okay.
So here's when I should have noticed things were going wrong. When I weighed in at 209.
Oh, wow.
But I had all my clothes on. It didn't dawn on me that my weight was a lot lighter.
Yeah.
So then I went back and started eating, and I finally weighed myself that night, and I was 205, and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So any bodybuilder knows that your metabolism either will take off and you got to chase it by dumping food into it, or you got to pull food out to have it ramp up. Normally for me, my preparation, if it goes spot on, my thermogenesis will take off, and I'll have to eat going into the show, and my stomach shut off. I couldn't eat, and I was so pissed. And when I woke up the morning of the show, I was 201. I was like, oh gosh, I knew I was flat.
Yeah.
And everything like that. But I went on stage, and I was really embarrassed of myself. I was just really embarrassed.
Embarrassed? Why?
Well, here, because I'm an athlete, and I was beating myself up. But the truth of it, I kept praying to God, please, God, allow me to be healthy enough. I just want to go back on stage. I just want to say bye.
Yeah.
Everybody got to say bye. Just please, please, please. So I remember during pre-judging, I was really depressed, and I was looking down, and man, this feeling just came over me, and I just couldn't stop from smiling. I remember just looking up, and I remember looking into the audience, and I'm like, Jesus, you gave me my wish.
Yeah.
I didn't ask to win. I wasn't praying to be the best on stage. I was simply asking, please allow me to make it up here. You allowed me to make it up here. And from that point on, man, I couldn't stop smiling. I was so happy. I was like, you did it. You did it. And then just the overwhelming response from everybody, even Ronnie, what Ronnie said, I was like, wow, it's a blessing. So.
Well, I interviewed Ronnie as soon as the night show, where we go out by the foyer, and I just grabbed Ronnie, and I just grabbed from the interview, and I said, I said, one of your best friends there, Flex Wheeler, we just got to see his pose routine. I said, how do you feel about it? And he says, Giles, he said, it's one of the the word he used was miracle. He said, it's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. He says, I can't believe how good he looked. He said he was just, I'll send you that interview as well. You can have a look. I'll send you the timestamp as well, because he was just completely blown away. And, Ronnie just, he's always smiling, but he was so happy, like you were, to see you had the opportunity to say goodbye and also go out looking on that Olympia stage, really fantastic.
No, I look back at photos now, and I got to be honest, of course, my muscularity wasn't there. The fullness that I showed weeks before wasn't there, but I got to be honest, my condition was like freakish. I look at it now, it's like, dang, I was rock fucking hard.
Yeah.
And I didn't achieve that condition in a lot of my shows when I was full blown. So, I'm happy. I'm really happy about that. I got to say bye. I got to send a message out there, and again, all I just wanted to do is, that message wasn't for everybody. It was just for people who've been through really rough times, and I just wanted to inspire them that, hey, man, you don't have to lay down and take this. You don't have to take it. So, yeah.
Okay, Flex. Well, before we started filming, I said I had something very cool to show you. So, 27.
You mean this is on film? This is all just off film?
This is all, yeah. No, I'm going to show you something now. So, this is from, we've just talked about 2017. Now, this is a photo I took in 1993. Can you see it?
Now bring it up and tilt it. Is that Nelson?
That's you in the British Grand Prix in 1993. Hang on, I'll show it up for the camera. Have you got that? This way? Yeah. This is when you came second to Charles Claremont. Kevin Levrone.
Oh,
yeah. Kevin Levrone was announced in third, and he's kind of going like he's not happy about it. And you're laughing, shaking hands with Charles Claremont. Can you see that?
Right.
So,
I remember, Charlie.
I took that when I was 17 years old, and I printed it at college, and I've had it framed in my office for years, mate.
Wow.
So
I know the only reason you printed that is because another Brit beat me. I know you. We all stick together.
Charles Clemont's a Brit, is he? Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding. No, I remember that moment. And what happened was, like I said, I've been having back problems all my life. I never talked about them. But the truth is, the week before that, we were at some other country, and I had to drop out of the Grand Prix.
That's right.
Due to back pain. And
you were hanging on. Sorry, you were hanging on to the curtain. You kept in pre-judging. You kept going down to your feet, and you were hanging onto the curtain. I was thinking, everyone was saying, "Why is he doing that? What's the matter?"
Yeah. So now I'll talk about those things because if you, I had a back injury, you're like, oh, come on, don't use that as the excuse why you weren't in shape, right?
Yeah,
Everybody does that. But now we're talking over 20 years later, so I'll be honest now. I was having severe back problems. This is before my back surgery. I had back surgery in, I think it was 2005. Yeah, I had back surgery. But from now you can time date. I was having back problems in 1993. Okay. And the Grand Prix the week before that, I had to drop out of the show.
Yeah.
And I didn't compete. And Wayne DeMilia and some quack doctor came on my room, and Wayne's like, hey, Flex, I got a great doctor. Listen, the next show we're going to, if you don't go on stage, they're going to riot. You got huge fans there.
Yeah.
If you don't, he goes, listen, they're going to riot. And I go, Wayne, what do you want me to do? And he goes, I got this doctor. He's going to give you a shot in your back, and you're going to be okay. So I'm like, okay. And I'm turning over, and I'm still kind of asking, well, what's going on? Next thing you know, this guy freaking pokes me in the back with this needle. He's like, don't move. And I'm like, because what if he hits the nerve or something? He injects me with something.
Cortisone.
He goes, just lay there in about an hour, you won't feel anything.
Okay. So
I lay there. I was terrified. I'm thinking like I feel like I just got violated, right?
Wow.
I'm serious, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the whole thing. Wait a minute. What if this guy would have hit one of my nerves? I'd be paralyzed. What in the hell did he just put in me? But I stand up and I'm not in too much pain.
Yeah.
So Wayne's like, please, you got to go on stage the next show. And I was like, all right. He goes, don't worry. You know how good you are. You're going to win, blah, blah, blah. So go on stage and the pain starts coming back. The shot's wearing off.
Okay.
And I do my pose. And obviously I'm not in the greatest shape, because of all the stuff I'm going through. And as you say, I'm grabbing the curtain to try to help myself walk down the stairs. Mm-hmm. And the expression on Kevin's face is, to be honest, he was very upset. He was very upset on stage. Kevin doesn't hold back. He was very vocal on stage. He's like, this is BS. This is BS.
Really?
You guys know who Flex is. You know how good he is. You know the condition that he's in. You guys wanted on stage under these circumstances. You guys shouldn't allow this to happen.
Okay.
No way that he should have lost, no matter what. And we all know the business, how you guys play games.
Yeah.
As high as ranking as he is, this shouldn't have happened. You guys are one who, kind of prodded him to go on stage. This is pure BS. And I'm like, oh, Kevin, and I looked at Charlie and I shook his hand because I'm like, it's not this mate's fault. It's no sense of being angry at him.
So
it's not his fault.
One second. So that's the story behind this picture.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. 17 years. No, hang on. 27. No, how many years is that? 27 years. Wow. I thought it was just because Kevin was pissed off because he got third.
Yeah, because he was pissed off because that he felt I still should have won, and he felt that he should have been second.
Okay.
At the minimum. But he just, he was just very angry because, let me put it like this. Well, let's go back to later on, they'll see the interview of me and Ronnie. they'll see out of Ronnie's mouth, I know that I was Mr. Olympia. I knew I wasn't going to lose a non-title bout. You know what that means. It doesn't happen. So in my case, what Kevin is saying, Flex is ranked number 2 in the world. He should never lose a non-title bout, especially when you guys injected him in the back and made him go up on stage. You should have took care of him. So that's what he was really angry about, the business part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's the British Grand Prix story that I've never heard before, Flex.
Yeah. You can ask Kevin.
Yeah. I will.
You know, Charlie didn't know anything about it. I didn't say anything. Nobody publicly knew that I had a back problem, except everybody who, I forgot what country we were in before. Those people did because they knew I pulled out of the show. Okay. But I was there, and they actually said, Flex, please come to the night show. That's when they gave me the shot in the back. Just come to the night show, come to the audience. Just prove everybody that you're there, because they think we're lying. Yeah. They think you never came, and they're going to riot. You know, you got to come.
Wow. Okay, Flex. Well, while we're talking about the British Grand Prix, I want to talk about another very pivotal year, very important year, because this is the one that you'll have seen this footage. They're saying it was the best lighting and one of the best the best Grand Prix lineups ever. I'm talking about the 1999 British Grand Prix. You, Ronnie, Nasser, Kevin, tell us about that.
I know the story's going to be out already because Ronnie and I just did it. But, a lot of people say that, 1993 was my best, or 1998 Arnold Classic was my best. But, it was 1999, the English Grand Prix, mate. Man, I was hell on wheels, I was 256 pounds.
256.
And as you see, Ronnie on our video, he says, "Yeah, you weigh the same weight as I did."
Yeah.
And I was in mint condition. My glutes were striated. I was just from head to toe. Anybody who's seen that video, and I'm sure it's one of the most downloaded videos.
Oh, the lighting, the lineup, it was just amazing. It was just...
Yeah, man. I was just hell on wheels. I was just hell. I'd never been so full and in shape. I mean, I felt like I was superhuman.
The thing is, Flex, one thing is, like, I used to go to, from 1992, I went to every single British Grand Prix. And like most of the guys, they would be 90% or 80% of what they were at the Olympia, because it's difficult to travel and to even to maintain the peak that you had at Olympia. But every now and again, you'd get Ronnie at the 97 Russian Grand Prix, Kevin Navarro at the 1997 British Grand Prix, and then you at the 1990. How do you get better from the Olympia to the Grand Prix whilst traveling?
Well, I mean, truth is, I was actually in better shape than I was at the Olympia.
Yeah, how?
At the Olympia, I weighed 246, and I was a little off. My hamstrings and glutes were a little soft. I was super, super full. At the English Grand Prix, I think a week and a half later, I actually put on over 10 pounds.
10 pounds.
And I was full, and I was in diamond shape. And I mean, again, I keep referring back to the interview because I validate.
Yeah. When
you interviewed with me and Ronnie, he gave me a diuretic that I'd never tried before.
Thanks, Ronnie.
All I have to say is I wish I would have known about that diuretic at the 99 Olympia, because
yeah. God, Ronnie, thanks, mate. Tell me 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah, if I would have known about that diuretic, I never used that particular diuretic my whole career, never. And all I got to say, man, if I would have known about that diuretic my whole career,
wow,
it might have been a little different.
Yeah,
it might have been a little different.
Okay, Flex, we'll come back to the Olympia, but this is a question that I have on forums, on social media. It's a question that pops up every few months, and it's one that I love to debate with people. And that's when we say the best. You won the Arnold Classic in 1993, the first year. You won it in 97, 98, and 2000. Now, there is you brought very different looks to every single one. You were 218 in 93. You were kind of at your biggest 98. What was in your opinion, what was your best look at those 4 Arnold Classic wins, and why?
Easily, 98 easily was.
Yes,
easily was.
Yes.
Easily was. Easy.
Yeah.
No, 93, I think I was a little drier.
Yeah.
But
More detailed.
I was also a lot flatter. I think I was only 216 or something like that. Wow. I was a lot drier, but I was a little flatter. In 98, I wasn't as dry, but my condition was pretty much spot on for that era. And my fullness, I was, I used to joke to myself, like, man, I'm just puking up muscle. I'm so full. And I was freaking full, man. So, and people are like, no, 93 is better. So if you want to be honest, take those identical photos from 93 and match them against that same guy in 98, and he would slaughter him.
Yes.
Just too much muscle and condition.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about the 98 Olympia, the one that you thought that you maybe thought you were going to win, and with how you helped Ronnie. And do you regret helping Ronnie now?
Never. I come from a martial arts background. I love fighting. I'm not a drug guy or anything like that, but I can't imagine any drug that would be more spectacular than just the drug of adrenaline when you're in an incredible fight. I always wanted to fight the best because I can truly measure myself. Yeah. If I went up against the best fighter, I can measure myself. That's just what real combative competitors are. We don't want to punk. We want the lion because we want to say, I beat down that lion at the top of the hill. Yeah. So no, of course not. I couldn't look myself in the mirror if I knew I have kept things from Ronnie to help him be his best. And the thing about it is, Ronnie's not the only one that I told all my secrets. Oh, really? I won't say the other guy's name because it's not about putting them on blast or anything. But just let's say I shared my information with anybody who asked. Yeah. The truth is, those dormant genes in Ronnie was just there for him. Ronnie did that hard work. I can't take anything away from him. And, what happened happened. It's simple as that. And I don't look back and regret any of it. I look back and I can say that I stood on stage with the greatest Miss Olympia of all times. We've done some fierce battle. It wasn't no blowout. Yeah. Man, we, toe to toe, teeth knocked out, lips bleeding, spleen busted. And, it was a great battle. So at the end of the day, win or lose, I can say that I was in some epic battles, which is beautiful.
Do you think you brought out the best in each other?
Yeah, truly did. Yeah.
Okay, I've asked this to Dorian Yates, and I say that for several different reasons, do you think 1993 was the year that changed bodybuilding forever?
I think it was a progress in the making. I credit Dorian for bringing a different look to the Olympic stage, of course. But to give him all that credit would be wrong, because then you're not giving Nasser his just due. You have to remember, I'm not a historian, but you got to remember, Nasser was one of the first who brought true mass to the stage. Yeah. He was the first heaviest conditioned bodybuilder ever. True. Okay. And you got to go a step back before that. You got to go back to the great Momo. Yeah, but Momo was the first who changed bodybuilding look, right?
Do you think
mass.
So? Do you think so? 1990? Do you think he did?
I can't remember. But I do remember Momo.
You think he took it to another level?
Dorian was the first who brought that on stage isn't true.
Okay.
I would say Dorian was one of the catalysts to help change the sport, but you can't deny Nasser. Yeah. And you can't. Remember Nasser went on that tear of just beating everybody forever?
95 to 98. He just kind of stepped it up and came in at like 280 on stage, and it was just ridiculous.
Man, that's nuts. So, even Dorian never weighed that type of weight. But yes, I do credit for Dorian as one of the nucleus of changing the sport. Yeah, definitely.
But what about do you know what? There's sometimes there's certain contests. If I could go back in time, I wish I could go to. One's like the '91 Olympia when Lee Haney won his last and Dorian made his debut. But another contest I wished I'd gone to, apart from the 93 Arnold, this is why I'm saying 1993, was that 1993 Pro Ironman when you and Paul Dillette walked on stage, both in your pro debut. I mean, I can't imagine what the audience's response was.
Yeah, I can't say, it's a lot of things I can't say. I can't say I ever won Olympia. I can't say that I'm the winnest bodybuilder in the world. I can't say that I always came in the best shape, right, in my career. But two things I can say that has never been broken yet.
Yeah. I
had the best pro debut in the entire history of the bodybuilding history.
Yes.
Right? My first show, I won. My pro debut, I won 1993 Ironman.
Yeah.
The next week, not 2 weeks later like now, the next week, I went and won the Honor Classic. Then I went over and won the French, and then the French and English Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And then I placed second in my first Olympia. So that qualifies me as the best pro debut in the history of the sport. And then the second thing I can claim that has a record that hasn't been broken is my 2 pro shows. I didn't go up against just nobodies.
I was just about to say that. My
first pro show, I went up against the great Vince Taylor, who at the time was ranked number 3 in the world.
Yep.
He was no pansy.
Nope.
My second pro show, I went up against Lee Labrada and Vince Taylor.
Yep.
Lee Labrada at the time was ranked number 2 in the world.
Yeah.
And then you got Vince Taylor ranked number 3, and it was my first time only competing in 1 week.
Yeah.
I've never done that before. So I'm not saying that other guys have an easy way out. I just say, that my lineup was stout, and I proved to the world that, I wasn't a pansy. So I can't claim all these other things, but I tell you what, whoever's going to break my pro debut record,
they better be good.
They haven't even turned pro yet. They better be
bloody good.
Right?
Yeah.
They haven't even turned pro yet. So,
I mean, not even Kevin Navrone, because people don't realize when he did the 92 Night of Champions, he actually lost to Porter Cottrell, didn't he, a couple of weeks before.
Yeah.
So he got second. So he can't even say he's matched your level of, but I was always so surprised that from the Ironman to the Arnold, your physique looks so different in just a week.
Yeah, no, I was learning.
Okay.
I was learning. I'm still basically an amateur, right? I turned pro in 92. I think it was in June or something.
The USA.
And next thing you know, months later, I'm on stage. So I'm learning.
Yeah.
And, I end up winning. I think I won 1 point away from a perfect score at the Ironman, which I didn't know anything about.
Yeah.
And then I won a perfect score at the Honor Classic. But what really happened was, because of continuously staying on my diet for that whole week, my physique just continued to evolve from just staying on that diet longer.
Do you know what you weighed at the Ironman, the 1993 Ironman?
Yeah, the Ironman, I remember, it was 232, because I won the USA at 223.
Hang on.
And I went into the Arnold at 232, and I dropped back down to, I think it was 216 or 218 at the Honor Classic the week later.
So hang on a minute. You dropped 16 pounds in 1 week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's, I'm trying to think if I've ever heard anything as drastic as that, actually. Like I said, you look totally, I loved both looks for different reasons. In fact, guys, to the newbies or the new fans of bodybuilding, go back and watch the 1993 Ironman, Pro Ironman, and that was Flex's pro debut at 232. It will blow your mind, absolutely blow your mind.
But you know what's interesting, buddy, is I love looking at my old footage and everything, but here's something that people don't aware of. They're like, okay, your condition was good, but it wasn't that great. Here's the thing that they're not taking into account. In the 90s, there was no digital. It was all analog film. So it's not showing. It's just it's like having a VHS versus Blu-ray.
Yeah.
It's the same footage, but the clarity of what you see is so different.
100%.
And even all my photos, I kind of hate my photos because they were taken with regular film back then.
Yeah.
So it couldn't capture all the what we have. So, it is what it is, but I would love for everybody to take into account. This is over 20 years ago. This is regular film.
Yeah.
This isn't high def.
Yeah.
You know, and every photo is regular film. It isn't digital. So imagine if they were looking at this on a digital image, or if somebody really digital format it, I think they would really, because I know a lot of people will say, even yourself, oh my God, but if you would have seen him on stage, it was completely different.
Yes.
Our eyes and what our eyes could capture, technology hadn't caught up to that yet. You know,
I've had exactly the same conversation that you've just said there with photographer Kevin Horton and Phil Heath, and they said exactly the same. They said you cannot compare, you know, the digital, you know, with all the post editing and everything of the raw footage that we took back in the day. You know, like you said, you had to see those guys on stage; they were just something else.
Yeah, and no. I mean, technology is supposed to continue to evolve. I'm proud of it. I believe in advancement of technology, but you know, Kevin Horton, are you in contact with Kevin?
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine.
Can you please send him my number?
I will.
Have him get a contact. Kevin was one of the most honorable, as greatest guys. It was an honor to shoot with him.
Yeah.
He was funny. He had a brilliant sense of humor. I want to stay in contact with Kevin, but you can even ask Kevin, and I want to be careful with this. Today's great photographers don't release their raw footage. They go back in and they redigitize it. They make it actually look better. They enhance it. So there you go. Where film, you know, film, and that we were taking all the film that was taken of us.
Yeah.
And the footage, there was no way of re-editing and making that better. So
well, that's all. That was no digital then. There was no internet back in them days. That was just pure 35mm. And Flex looks amazing in that picture. But, Flex, just obviously you've given so much of your time. I'm so grateful. Tell us about your new project, this Back Widow. Tell us about that.
Oh man, it's a great home apparatus. We're really proud of it. It's just, we're showing tons of videos now, and you know, kind of unfortunately, it's kind of a positive thing, you know, that's happened because people can't go in the gym, and now people are really finding out the true diversity of the Back Widow, because you can do so many variable things at home and in the gym. So it's really kind of put us on the market now. But it was me and my business partner, Paul DeBone, and you know, I've always kind of had a great back, and you know, he's kind of a great designer and all that stuff. And he's like, Flex, you know, what would you have thought would have been the best thing for you? You know, would have helped you build a better back? And I'm like, well, you know, technology wasn't that great with you know, products back then, and you know, you can never get, you know, maybe the right equipment in the gym because somebody else was using it. So we went back and forth for like over a year, and we came up with this. And man, we're just super happy. We're super proud, and you know, I'm just elated to be a part of something really big like that. But it's kind of like, you know, with Curl and Charmin, Carlet Tissue. It's a very sad situation, but these guys have really put themselves on the market now, right?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So you know, it's a blessing in disguise, and you know, we're doing well and hope to continue doing well, and even more so once the pandemic is released, that it'll be more in home regular gyms and everything also. So super excited about that, mate. Super. Thanks for bringing it up. But yeah,
that's
very
great.
proud of it.
Did you help to design it and do any sketches or anything like that, or was it just?
No, I don't know how to design crap. We would sit and have conversations, and if I would show you the first one he designed, it looked like something from the Stone Ages. It was really heavy and bulky, and I would go in the gym and I would try and like, no, I need to do this, and this needs to change this, and you know, we just kept going back and forth, and it evolved. But you know, Paul is the one who did all the etching, and kind of, you know, he'd go in his garage and weld together this Frankenstein, you know, suit and everything, and I'd be like, oh my God, dude, that's ugly. And,
it looks cool, man. It looks cool.
It kind of worked. You know, we were able to find, you know, a top line, you know, designer and company who can make it in a very lightweight material that's super strong. So yeah, man, it's brilliant. You know?
So could we find that on your Instagram or any website? Or it's Back, not black, but back as in lats, Back Widow. Check it out. Search it in, Google it, and get one for your gym because it's amazing. I saw it and it looks really good. It looks really good.
Yeah. So, you know, we have an Instagram, which is Back Widow. You can find it on my Instagram also. And we do have a website, which is www.backwidow.com.
Perfect. Flex, this has been everything I wanted and more, mate. It's been amazing. It's always good to catch up, and I really hope we can do the Olympia wrap up again as well at the Olympia in Vegas. So I can't wait, mate. I can't wait, and I'm so pleased to see that you've come through again. You've come through another like dark time, and you've come through, and you're still serving.
Yeah, I don't want no more, man. I don't want no more. You know.
Yeah, you're still serving inspiration though, and that's a huge, because I think sometimes I speak to these pros and they don't really have much of an idea of how much of an impact they have on people's lives. And I think that you realize how much positivity you can bring to people who are going through dark times. So I thank you for that. I really do.
No problem, mate. Thank you. 2 things. Give me Kevin Horton's number, or I'm going to have some of my guys come and have a visit with you. And also give me that footage of the interview with Stan.
Yep.
Or I'm going to have some of my mates come over and they're gonna treat you properly, okay?
You have my word, Flex. You have my word.
Yeah,
I'll do that tonight.
I won't say the bad word, but you're gonna get a proper, you know.
Okay, then, Flex. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you so much for coming on. I truly appreciate it for this 50th very special episode. This has been amazing. Flex Wheeler, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless all you guys. Bye.
Okay, then. Bye-bye, Flex. Bye-bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we're joined for episode 50 of Global Muscle, Rafael Brandao. Yay! Rafael, how are you, mate?
Fine, man. And you?
Yeah, I'm really good, mate. Really good. Now, am I right in saying this is your first ever proper bodybuilding media interview in English?
Yeah, man. My first ever interview in English.
Wow. Wow. That's
So-
I'm honored.
I'm very excited for show my history for you, for the guys, you know. I remember when I met you at Arnold 2019.
No,
No?
it was the first time I met you, Rafael, was at the San Marino in 2017.
Oh, yeah. I remember. But in 2019, Arnold, Ohio, you come to spoke with me, you know, to do interview.
Uh-huh.
I remember my first interview with you and Patrick Tour.
Uh-huh.
Patrick, you know,
That's
in San
right.
Marino. Yeah, I remember San Marino. I couldn't speak English. Nothing.
Yeah.
Not just hi, how are you? Just it. And Patrick did a good job. Made a good job with us.
Yeah. So let me allow some context. 2017 at the San Marino Pro, it's in Italy. You made your pro debut. You're 25 years old. I think you were a year and a half outside of the juniors, and you were in the first call out, weren't you?
Yeah. It was crazy because I remember my first pro show. You know, I'm very young, 25, 24 years old, and when I see our guys on stage, Cedric McMillan, Had Chopin, Mr. Olympia, Brandon Curry.
Yep.
You know, crazy. When I see, I say, "Oh, I'm here with this guy. This is so, you know, I work it every day for this since I started in bodybuilder, 20 years old, and I feel very, very well when I on stage with this guy.
I remember because you were a new face, and because I'm good friends with the coach who you were working with at the time. You work with Chris Aceto now, don't you?
Yeah, now with Chris Aceto.
Yeah. At the time, you were prepped for your pro debut by Patrick Tour from Switzerland, a very good friend of mine. And he was kind of raving, and he was sending me lots of pictures of you before the show. So I knew all about you. And he said, Giles, he said, this guy's tall. He's got a beautiful structure. He's 6'1" and 245 pounds. Was that what you weighed in San Marino?
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously I knew all about you. So when you got the first call out with Cedric McMillan, Brandon Curry, this was like, a lot of the European shows, you know, they're obviously they're very good high standard, but this was an exceptional standard show. Sorry, Hadi Shupan, Issa Obied, who else was there? Danny Deganovic. I mean, this was a really good lineup. So you were in the first call out.
Yeah, this was a good show for me. My first impression, you know.
Yeah.
I was a little scared on stage, you know, my first pro show. But after that, I say, okay, you are professional now.
Mm-hmm.
Go on stage and, you know, strong and go on stage and kill it, bro, kill it.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I start work with Chris Acedo.
Yep.
And I went to New York Pro.
Mm-hmm.
I was 24 years old in New York Pro.
That was in 2018.
2018, yes.
Yep.
And I went to first call out again, but very aggressive, you know, on stage. It's another shape, better, and they're feeling very well on stage.
Who was in that first call out with you?
Nathan
D'Asha,
John De La Rosa,
John De La Rosa,
brother, and Juan.
Who? Sorry, Juan Morel.
Yes. Justin.
Who? Sorry.
Justin.
Oh, Justin Rodriguez.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a good lineup. Good lineup.
Yeah, good lineup.
Yeah.
Good lineup.
So let's go right back to because I was told that you lived in a very small when you were younger. You know, you grew up in a very, very small village. It was like 300 people. This was in Brazil, wasn't it?
Yeah, I come from, you know, small country, small city, sorry, in Brazil, Cali de Garça.
Okay.
It's, so very small, 30,000 people. Yeah, 30,000.
Okay.
So I came from a humble family, you know. I started working with 11 years old.
With weights?
Yeah, 11 years old.
11 years old. Wow, it's even younger than Flex.
I started working with my father.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. I was everything that I wanted, you know. I coming to do it, you know.
Yeah.
When I was young, with 11 years old, I started working with my father because I loved the cars, I loved the motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I said for me, okay, I wanted a motorcycle, I wanted a car, so I started working with my father to buy these things that I wanted.
Okay.
So, like when I started bodybuilding, when I was 20 years old, I say, hey, I want to be professional bodybuilding, you know. I want to be one day Olympia, you know. So I need to work for it.
When was your first show? Because I remember seeing the pictures of you as a junior in 2015, and you were fantastic then. And then obviously you made your pro debut in 2017. At you put like 30 pounds of muscle on. But tell us about your first show.
My first show was in 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, 2014 when I was 20 years old.
Yep.
And I did 3 shows this year and won these 3 shows.
Oh, you won all 3?
Yeah. It's novice and stage and national.
So you won the novice, sorry, what was the second thing you said?
The stage.
The stage.
And national.
Oh, and you won the nationals as a junior.
Yeah.
So you were competing. So you would have been 20 years old, and you were beating guys older than yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I come back 2015.
Yeah.
And I won every show that I compete. 4 shows this year. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, okay, I've seen a bit of a parallel with one of your friends here. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So, and I come back 2016,
Okay.
and was three-time champion, three-time national champion
In Brazil.
in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're winning everything in Brazil as a junior.
Yeah. And two-time is South American.
Yeah.
South American champion.
Oh, okay.
It's like Brazil, Peru,
Peru.
no,
Yeah.
this Chile, this South America.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. When I turned pro, 2016.
Yeah.
So 2016 was a beautiful year for me because
Yeah.
because I turned pro. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
What show was
in-
that? Sorry,
then-
what show did you turn pro at?
in South America.
Oh, in South America. Was that an amateur Olympia or
No, it's amateur.
just nationals?
It's all the FBB, you know,
Right. Okay. Okay.
the South American Championship.
Yeah.
But before South American Championship, I did my third national.
Yeah.
And I was junior bodybuilding,
Mhm.
23 years old, and I competed in my class, junior bodybuilding,
Mhm.
and open bodybuilding,
Okay.
and I won all categories.
That's what everything. Okay. Wow. Okay. That's a real.
still-
That's good. That's good.
I take a picture for you. So this was crazy for me because
Yeah.
I was 23 years old and beat guys that 40 years old, you know, 35 years old. So this made me more confidence to be
Yeah.
pro.
Of course. So I remember seeing pictures, and you'd put on such an amount of size from when you were as a junior. I think Patrick sent me the pictures, and I think how much body weight did you put on from 2016 to when you made your pro debut? Because I know you weighed 245 in 2017. What did you weigh when you turned pro?
When I turned pro, two 10 pounds,
210 pounds.
110 pounds maybe.
So you put 30 pounds or 35 pounds on
Yes.
in a year.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. Okay, you must. Okay, well,
My first show in 2014 was, let me see for you. Mm,
wow.
170. 170.
170 pounds. So sorry, what year was that?
2014.
So in 3 years, hang on, you put 75 pounds of muscle on. That's what Carlene weighs. Wow. Okay. That's pretty impressive. Okay. So where are we up to now? We're up to the 2018. Okay, let's go up to the 2018 New York Pro. Let's take us from there. What happened after then?
What? I'm sorry. I don't
Sorry,
understand.
let's talk about you talked about the 2018 New York Pro. Let's go on from there.
Okay.
What happened afterwards? Yeah, because I know you had you did a lot of shows that year.
Yeah, 2018.
Yep.
I did 4 shows in 1 month.
Yeah.
I did New York Pro, and I placed the 6th, 16th. I did the California stage.
Yep.
You know, California stage. I placed the 3rd.
Third. Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Nathan De Asha won the show.
Yeah.
Second was
Sasan.
Yeah.
Sasan Harati. Yeah. Yeah, you look good though. I liked the look you brought to that California 2018. I like that. It was a good look, and your condition was really good. Really good look.
Very, condition, crazy condition.
Yeah.
And had to train this guy too.
Sorry, say that again.
Chris Aceto.
Oh, okay, well, Chris worked with you on that one. Okay, good.
After California stage, I did Toronto Pro.
Yep.
Yeah, in Toronto Pro, I come with my shape a little more water because I don't know. It's different timing that I compete.
Yeah.
You know, I compete just in the night. Normally, I compete pre-shooting, early.
Yeah.
In the night. In the show, we just competed in the night. So here's some things,
I remember writing in my MD column, and I was saying he needs to stop competing because you were doing so many shows and you could see your body was kind of getting tired, you know? And I think they were pushing. I remember someone saying, oh, his sponsors really want to get him to the Olympia. They want him to be top 10 at the Olympia. And I said, no, I said, he's only 25, 26 years old. I said, he needs to pull back now and prep for next year, because I felt like you were starting to burn out a little bit that year, you know, because you were looking good at the start and then you kind of just slipped, you know?
Yeah. So after that, I did a show called the Muscle Mayhem.
Yeah.
In Kansas City, and I placed the fourth. And after that, I rest and put back in 2019 on Arnold Classic, Ohio.
Yes,
Was a good year for me because I introduced myself in the industry. You know, this year, all people come from America knew about me. You know.
Yeah. I thought you looked fantastic at the Arnold Classic. Now, I said this to Morgan Asti, who'd made his pro debut at the Arnold Classic. He was on last week's show. And I said, look, to not get like top 3 or top 5 in a contest like the Arnold, which is invitational, you know, there's no shame. You know, it's better that you look good at one of the big shows rather than kind of, it's more important, I think, than the placing.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't understand.
I'm saying you looked fantastic at the Arnold Classic last year, mate. You look fantastic. You look really good. It's good to look good at the big shows.
Thanks so much.
So now, obviously, you're from Brazil. When was when did you decide to move to America, and why?
So when I started in bodybuilding, in Brazil, bodybuilding was like small, very small.
Really?
So
really? I think it's quite big in Brazil, isn't it, bodybuilding?
Yeah, now it's big.
Oh, okay.
Now,
okay.
But 5-6 years ago, was small. See, I was first athlete in my city. I don't knew about bodybuilding until my 19 years old. Crazy, because I have nothing about bodybuilding.
Yeah.
In this small city. So when I started bodybuilding, I started watching the guys from America, big guys.
Like who? Like who? Who was your favorite?
My favorite? Flex.
Okay, apart from Flex. Flex
is unbelievable.
Oh, that's okay. Fantastic. Okay, who else from Flex? What about the the open guys at the time? Who was like the person that you really emulated apart from Flex Lewis?
So, oh my gosh, sorry. Tell me again.
Who else did you look up to? Who else did you think was very good apart from Flex Lewis at the time? Other bodybuilders you liked at that time?
This time or another time?
Yeah, back sort of 5-6 years ago. You say you liked Flex Lewis. Who else did you look up to in terms of their physique?
Phil Heath. Phil Heath too. I watched a lot of video from Ronnie Coleman, but I never see Ronnie Coleman on stage.
Yeah.
So it's different. My first Olympia that I watched was 2016.
Okay, that was a good one.
When I see Flex Lewis on stage, see Phil Heath on stage, so it's different for me. This guy is the king of my era.
Yeah.
I know Ronnie Coleman is the king, Arnold is the best, but for me, this guy, Flex Lewis and Phil Heath, is the king of my era.
Yeah.
If I watch this guy, you see everybody, happy with this guy on stage. So when I come to, oh my gosh, it's about that because he's very happy. So when I came to America, when I started bodybuilding, I started watching the guys from USA, and to know about what I need to do to be a good professional, because bodybuilding is not just about bodybuilding. Just train eat, It's just it's about who is you, who are you, what you do to be a good professional, be a good athlete. You're not just eating and train. You need to uh, videos. You need to work in your image,
Image, yeah.
because you need to make money to be a professional.
So,
How will
so you see it as a profession, not just being a good bodybuilder on stage. You see it as a whole profession where
Yeah.
you have to promote yourself and be a good role model. And is that why you've connected so well with Flex Lewis? Because he's very much like that as well. Have you learned from him?
Yeah. Like I say for you, I started watching what this guy do. So I watched a lot of video from Flex, from Phil, from Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
So I learned what I need to do. So in 2014, I started to do it. When I was amateur, I started to do a lot of videos about my routine, about my diet, about, to show myself, show what is a bodybuilding, what I do to be a bodybuilding. So
to help the people, that the fans and the weight trainers and the young kids. And
yeah, because in Brazil, no was popular. So I say I need to show for all people what is a bodybuilding. Because people think bodybuilding just eating and train and take steroids. It's not it. It's bodybuilding changed my life.
So bodybuilding's changed your life then, yeah. So it's
So when I started, I say, okay, this changed my life. So I can use this to change another lives.
okay. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice to hear. That's good to hear.
Yeah. After that, I start show my prep, show everything that I do, I did, and I and another guys in Brazil too. And after that, bodybuilding grow in Brazil.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
More people
Yeah.
see what really is bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Can you understand?
Yeah. I remember Patrick telling me that like he was saying how big bodybuilding was in Brazil, like in the last couple of years. Because I just thought that it had always been popular, always been big. But to hear that it wasn't popular 5-6 years ago, and then people like yourself were really working hard to show people how to be a bodybuilder and how to sort of improve your life and everything. I didn't realize it was a very new thing that bodybuilding was popular in Brazil.
Yes. So because before bodybuilding, I was young, like a young guy,
Yeah.
Smoke, normal guy,
Don't smoke. Yeah, no smoking now, I hope.
Yeah. When I met bodybuilding, my life changed,
Yeah.
I changed my family life. So this is beautiful for me.
Yeah.
So when I see this, I say, okay, I need to show for people how bodybuilding made my life better. My life better.
So let's talk about when you moved to America, because I was so happy to hear that when you moved to America. Tell us about that and how it happened and why you ended up where you ended up in Florida.
So I come to America to stay here before Arnold Classic, Ohio.
Last year, 2019. Okay.
2019.
Yeah.
But I stay in Los Angeles.
Right.
Yeah, in Venice Beach for 2 months.
Okay.
So I see how I improve in these 2 months because, I just focus myself in praying, and eating, no problems around me,
Yeah. So you've just no distraction.
No distraction. So when I see this, I say, okay, I need to move to America to be a better. So after Toronto Pro, just come back a little bit.
Yeah.
After Pro
In 2018. In 2018.
2018.
Yeah, yeah.
Flex, when I meet Flex for the first time,
Hmm.
Flex take a picture of myself on stage and say the future.
Ah, that's exactly what I wrote about you. I said this guy is the future of this. Guys like this guy and other guys in the mid-20s. These are the guys. These are the future top 6, top 3 Olympian guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was crazy for me because how I tell you, Flex and Phil is the king of my era.
Yeah.
So and Flex post this, I say, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I bet you were like scrolling on Instagram and going, "Whoa, what's this?" Yeah.
I come to my wife, say, Karen, look at that. Like, this is unbelievable. So after that, we start talking. We start, I send message for him,
Yeah.
send answer for me. We start a relationship.
Yeah.
One time, Flex say, hey, come to Florida to train at Dragon's Lair.
You're like, okay.
When Flex said this for me, I say, I need go. Because, who it's crazy because it's fucking Flex lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Flex, today Flex is, for me, is like a family. I can say today, I have a family in USA. Flex, Ali, his wife, and Adi. Flex has a beautiful family, and this family today is my family.
Oh, that's nice.
But when I come back the conversation, I say I need to go. I say Karen is my wife.
Yes.
Karen is everything for me.
She's also a very good wellness competitor as well.
Yeah.
She looked fantastic at that last. So we'll talk about Karen a little bit in a bit more, but yeah, she looked fantastic at the last show. Check her out. It's amazing.
Yeah. So I say, Karen, we need to go to America. This is, the best opportunity for my life.
Yeah, for both of you.
Yeah, because every day I learn something with Flex. Every day. Flex is unbelievable. So every day I learn something about bodybuilding, about life, about, family. Everything Flex teach me something.
Yeah.
English too.
I know because I asked Flex about 6 months ago. I said, "Can I get an interview with Rafael?" And he said, "Giles, his English isn't good enough. He's not confident enough to speak English in an interview." He said, "Please come." He says, "Let's leave it 6 months and then I'll arrange it for you." And he has helped set this interview up. So thank you, Flex.
Yeah, thank you, Flex.
So
yeah. Flex is unbelievable. Why? Can you imagine you invite one guy? You don't know this guy. This guy is good athlete, maybe have future in the bodybuilding, but you don't know how this guy is with family, with friends, because this guy living in another country.
Yeah.
And this guy don't speak your language. It's crazy.
So how did you manage when you first moved to America? How did you speak to each other if your English wasn't very good? How did you manage?
I start studying English every day.
Okay.
And Flex teach me every day something.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. Flex has a big patience with me.
About what? Sorry? Big what? I don't understand that word.
Because, I remember Flex say, "Hey, bro, don't worry about your English because I don't speak Portuguese too."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't speak Portuguese, but we speak the same language. That's train.
Right.
Hard.
Yeah.
So this made me more confident to come in.
So it just got you studying English every day, you trained together, and eventually your English got better to the point where now you speak brilliant English. Your English is great.
Yeah, so after 6 months, I started speaking a little bit, better,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't speak English very well yet, but
Pretty good to me,
but
mate.
much better. I come to America
Yeah.
because bodybuilding is American sport.
Mm.
So everybody that want to be a good bodybuilding need to come to America.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a long.
So what's it been like training? Because you train with Flex Lewis. Do you train with Flex Lewis and John De La Rosa together, or is it just Flex you train with?
No, Flex Lewis and John De La Rosa.
Are you the three of you train together?
Yeah, 3.
Okay, what's it like? Who trains the hardest?
Every day is competition.
Really? You're all competing against each other to train the hardest?
Yeah. Because, I am very competitive too.
Yeah.
Flex is too. John too. So it's hard because it's like when I do 20 reps,
Yep.
Flex do 21.
Yeah.
That I do 22 and John come do 25.
Oh no. Well,
Yeah.
Flex said to me, he said the reason I like training with Rafael, he says, because his strengths are my weaknesses and my strengths are his weaknesses. So what's Flex stronger on and what are you stronger on?
I'm stronger on legs.
Okay.
Yeah, legs. Flex is stronger whole body.
Whole body. Okay. So give me an average leg workout then. What sort of numbers? What kind of weights are you using? Leg press, squat. Come on, tell me.
Oh.
Hack squat. How many plates? Come on.
Hack squat. We did hack squat with 9 plates with size.
9 plates hack squat.
Yeah, 18 plates total.
20 kilo plates, yeah?
I love that. Flex love that. John love that.
Yeah.
So this is very good because I push Flex, Flex push John, John push me. So everybody,
Yeah. So you all bring out the best in each other because you're very competitive.
Yeah, it's very competitive. So when I start training with Flex and John, my upper body, I don't have power like Flex and John in upper body, just in legs.
Okay.
So my first 2 months here, this guy's killing me.
Yeah.
Killing me every day. But this made me stronger.
Yeah.
I come back to my house, say, okay, tomorrow I will be more stronger. Or I will be more strong.
So let's get a bit of a timeline of your body weights. In 2017, when you made your pro debut, you were 245 pounds on stage. I believe in 2018 you were 250 on stage.
Yeah. In 2017, I come to stage with 240.
Oh, 240. So you were 240, 2017. 2018, you were 250. So
50.
how's training going now? How are your gains going? What has your physique changed? Have you improved? Tell us.
Yes. I put some size from 2017 to 2018. And after my season in 2018, I did not really good off season. I work more in pre-contest. Off season for me is very, very hard because I need to eat a lot of food.
Okay. So you're saying you gain when you're dieting, when you're prepping for a show, you grow into a show.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So I put some size too from 2018 to 2019.
Yeah.
But I believe now my new version will be more aggressive,
See, the thing I like about your physique, though, it's very classic. It's like I saw some pictures that you and All Flex posted on your Instagram, and I could see you've put on a lot of size, but you still kept those beautiful classic lines, you know, because you've got that for me is the future of bodybuilding, having classic lines, like kind of like Sean Roden, all those kinds of physiques where they got classic lines but size and definition and stuff. I think that for me is what they're looking for, you know.
Yeah, look, my goals in bodybuilding is bring the classic, you know, the classic style, like with the new guys, new open bodybuilder size.
You're definitely achieving that, mate. You're definitely achieving that.
How you do it? How you do it? I believe that.
You've done it.
This is
You've done it. You're doing it.
So I believe I like this because it's more harder.
Yeah.
You know, I can put more size, more fast, but I love my line.
Yeah.
I know, not just my line. I love the body, like, you know,
how do you keep your midsection small? How do you do it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Just genetics.
No. Just when I in prep, I do some vacuum.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, some vacuum every day, like 10, 15 minutes a day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but when I start my prep, my stomach, you know, comes small.
Okay.
I don't know. I thank God.
Yeah. I mean, I remember seeing, like I said, Samaria when you first walked on stage, and obviously that, because I actually took a picture of that first call out, and in that front double bicep, even next to Cedric and Brandon and Hadi, you stood out. You really stood out there. I mean, that frontal bicep is the first compulsory pose, and that is probably one of your best poses.
Yeah, I like it. I like this pose.
Yeah.
And I like condition too.
Yes. Well, yeah. Your condition's amazing.
I like
the detail, the striations in your quads, and your it's nice to see that level of detail on a guy as big as you.
Yeah, this is the best part of bodybuilding for me, you know. So I like the classic lines with size of open bodybuilding and a lot of details.
Yeah.
So it's
a great combination. It's a great combination. And like Flex said, I said in my column, I said that's the future. That is the future. So what's obviously now we're in the situation with the quarantine and everything. I know you guys are still managing to train because with Flex Lewis's Dragon's Lair, it's a private gym, so you guys can still get to the gym. What is next for you now? Because you were prepping for something, weren't you, this year?
Yeah, I was in prep to Arnold Classic Brazil.
Oh, the Brazil, of course. Yeah. It was going to be you versus Dexter, wasn't it? That was what they put on the poster. Rafael Brandao versus Dexter Jackson. And obviously, the show got cancelled right after the Arnold Classic in Columbus.
Yes. Can you imagine how crazy this for me when I see my photo with Dexter?
Yeah, Dexter.
Dexter is a very good guy, too. Yeah. I love it. Dexter physique. I love how Dexter doing bodybuilding, you know, because he's very consistent.
Yes.
This is going bodybuilding. Be consistent, you know.
A 21 year pro career, and he's pretty much been he's been pretty much at the top or very close to it in all those 21 years. That's incredible. Almost as long as you've been alive.
It's like my whole life.
Yeah.
I'm 26, so
26.
Great.
Wow. It's great. So what are the plans for you now then? What are you hoping to do this year? Are you going to do anything this year or next year?
So now I start a little off season, maybe 8 or 10 weeks, because the Arnold Classic Brazil gonna be in October.
Okay, they're moving it to October. Okay.
I have more time to improve more.
Wow.
So this time I try put my more size.
Yeah.
It's good because I was in prep. It moves very, very fast. And now I start off season a little.
Yeah.
I can put more size easier, you know, and start my prep again.
So we could potentially see you in the Mr. Olympia this year.
I hope.
Because I've got a feeling, if the Arnold Brazil's in October, I have a feeling maybe the Olympia, there is rumors that the Olympia might be pushed back to either November or December. So if that does happen and it is moved from September to after the Arnold Brazil, and you do very well in the Arnold Brazil, we could see you in the Mr. Olympia this year.
I hope. I work for this every fucking day. You know?
Yeah.
It's my dream.
So
Go to Olympia, no? So I will go to Arnold Classic Brazil, and if I win, I don't know. After Arnold Classic Brazil, I think it's gonna be more shows too.
Yes, I was just about to say that. I mean, if you just say you don't qualify, would you consider, even if you win or you don't win, will you consider doing more shows then in October, November?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'd love to see you in the Olympia this year, mate. I'd love to see you in the Olympia.
Yeah, bro, this is my dream. I will work every fucking day for this, you know.
So just say you're at the Olympia and you get a call out with, okay, they're to the center for Rafael Brandao, John De La Rosa and Flex Lewis. What would that be like?
Oh my God, can you imagine it? Oh,
No
bro,
elbows.
unbelievable, you know. So I believe that. I believe because Flex is on Olympia. John come to Olympia a few times.
Yep.
Now, just me need to work more to go to Olympia. Oh?
Yeah.
So
you gotta be traveling together to Vegas. Come on.
Yes, travel together and train together. It's good because it's like a old school.
Yeah.
When guys train together and go to stage together, this is beautiful.
Yeah, like the guys in the Frank Zane, Arnold, they also travel to the shows together and train together and hang out together and eat together. And...
Yes, everybody train at Gold's Gym, train in Gold's Gym and come to on stage together.
Yeah. So the Dragon's Lair really is like an East Coast. It's like an East Coast Gold's Gym now, isn't it? Really, with all you guys there, and I see all these other people train. Obviously, Neil Hill's there and training people, and I bet it's a really good atmosphere in that gym, isn't it?
Yeah, Dragon's Lair is unbelievable place. When I came to Dragon's Lair first time, oh bro, I need to,
Yeah.
Yes, it's crazy because when I go in Dragon's Lair, you feel the energy. We can feel the beautiful energy. It's bodybuilding, 100% bodybuilding. They close the doors.
Yeah.
Close everything.
You can't escape. You can't escape that leg session, and you can't quit because all the doors are shut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those guys are on your tail because I've heard Flex has told me about your leg sessions, and he said they're absolutely savage.
Yes. I love it leg day. So when I come the first week here in Florida, every day we start training Monday. Yeah. My first working out at Dragon's Lair was Monday.
Okay.
And every Sunday is leg day.
Oh, Sunday. Okay.
So every fucking day, Flex and Neil say about Sunday.
Yeah.
About leg day. Every Monday, hey, Sunday is leg day.
Yeah.
Tuesday, hey, Sunday is leg day.
Yeah.
Sunday is leg day because Flex say for me, leg day is when I separate the guys who really hard work from the boys,
Yeah. From the pussy boys.
Yeah, from the pussy boys.
I couldn't think of a better phrase there.
Yeah.
Wow.
These mates are aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm very, very competitive.
Right.
I love that.
So let's talk about your training partner, Flex Lewis. He's going into the Open this year. How do you think he'll do in the Mr. Olympia this year?
Flex can win the Mr. Olympia.
You think Flex can win the Olympia this year?
Yes, of course. Flex is Flex is complete, you know.
Yeah.
No, Flex don't have weakness in body, you know. Every muscle is good. Is you know. Can you imagine Flex with more? I don't know, 10 or 15 pounds. How crazy it can be.
Well, we've seen him at 212, obviously in the 212 because that was the category he was competing in. And he always said, like at 4 weeks out, I'm ready at 225, 226. And he said, like, I would, you know, it must be hard as an athlete to be looking like that and then have to take another 15 pounds off to then make the weight limit. But now he's in the open, he doesn't have that now. He can just go on as he is.
Yeah. If you see on stage, nobody has flex condition.
That's true. Yeah.
That's
fair.
Nobody has flex condition on stage.
Do you think you can beat Hadi and Bonac?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, because I say for you, flex is complete. You know, hard Chopin is very good, but flex is much better. Flex much better. I'm sorry.
I'll be honest. I'm very, very excited because William Bonac. I remember seeing William Bonac compete with Flex in 2012 when they were in the 212. I think William was 6th at the UK show, and then he was 4th at Prague, and Flex won both of those. And also, I'm very excited to see Hadi because obviously they've gone up against each other in the 212. Now Hadi's out of the 212. Now Flex is out of the 212. I'm very excited to see those three go up against each other at their best.
Yeah. I think Flex can beat this guy.
Yeah. What about Bonac's on a bit of a roll? He's doing very well at the moment.
Bonac is very well too. Bonac is very well too. One of the best bodybuilder today. But if you put Bonac in Flex, Flex killing.
Oh, it's fighting talk. That's fighting talk. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Well, I think it's going to be exciting to see though. But
I can't wait for see Flex on stage.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, bro, because I know Flex gonna choke the world.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Because like I said, he's never. I asked him in an interview a couple of weeks ago. I said, have you ever brought your best physique to the stage? And he says, no, because I look my best 4 weeks out. He says, I stopped guest posing at 6 or doing anything 6-7 weeks out. He said, so at 4 weeks out, he says, no one gets to see how I'm looking when I'm looking my best.
Yes. Yes, I'm very excited to see these on stage.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's go back to yourself now. Where do you see yourself headed in the next? I mean, you're what, 26 now?
Yeah, 26.
26. I mean, you literally, where do you see yourself by the time you're 30?
30?
Yeah, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself top 6 Olympia, top 3 Olympia, Mr. Olympia?
It's hard, 4 years. In 4 years, I see myself fight for top 3.
Yeah, I do.
I see.
You're top 10. You're top 10 Olympia now. I mean, top 10 Olympia the last year or two. I mean, you know, I could see you in that 7th to 10th spot now. So, and the way that you've progressed, the way you've told me how you progressed from a junior, like you, was it in 6 years or 4 years, you put on 75 pounds of muscle. I mean, and Flex has told me I get the impression you're a very hard worker. You say you're very competitive. So I could really see you. I mean, what do you see what would be your maximum body weight that you would like your physique to be whilst keeping that classic look? What do you think's the maximum amount of weight you'll be? Because you're 6'1", aren't you? Because I remember we interviewed and you were actually a little bit taller than me. I'm 6 foot tall.
Yes, I think one good weight for me on stage gonna be 270 to 70. Yeah.
Wow,
I think I can do it in the next 3 years.
Do you think you'll keep your classic lines at 270?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Because to be honest, when you first came on the scene, I thought you reminded me a little bit of the way your structure was, your shoulder width and how small your waist, your quads. You reminded me a little bit of Dennis Wolf.
Yes.
Similar structure. So Dennis Wolf, I mean, he went up to about What did he go up to? About two. He was actually lighter than you thought. Maybe he was only about 250, 260, but he looked bigger because of his wide shoulders. So you could see yourself even bigger than that then.
Yeah, I believe that.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay, just keep that waist small, mate.
Yeah, yes. This is
Okay.
my goal. When I see my weight, my stomach growing, I stop.
Yeah. Be
You know,
careful.
because I know until I can go.
Yeah.
Be like to be like a classic, with mass.
See, I like.
So
Yeah, I could see you like I see like guys like Cedric McMillan, Sean Roden, Victor Martinez. These are the big guys, but they're like yourself. They've managed to keep those classic lines. You know, I think that's really what that could be your calling card as a pro. I think that's what will set you apart from everybody else.
yes, yeah. Look at Kevin LeBron.
Yes, yeah. Okay, tell me about your wife then, because Karen, because you've been together many, many years, and she's. Well, I'm very impressed with how she looked on stage at her last contest, mate. Tell us about that.
Yes, I met Karen when I was 22 years old, and Karen changed my mind.
Why?
Because she is very smart, very humble. She made me a better guy, because she believed me more than me.
She believes in you more than you believe in yourself.
Yeah, because
that's good.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Karen is my key to be good athlete, because every day she stay with me, she train with me, she do cardio, she lives bodybuilding life. This is perfect. And Karen has a big heart, She's very family. She's very sweet. She's very, she made me a better guy.
That's lovely. That's really nice to hear. It's nice to hear that you've got that level of support, and the fact that because she compete. When did she compete? It was a few weeks ago, wasn't it? A couple of months ago.
Yeah, she competed before than me. She started in bodybuilding 2013.
Oh, really? Before you started competing, Karen was competing. In what category then? Because there wasn't a wellness then, was there?
Is body fitness.
Oh, figure.
Yeah, figuring.
Yeah. Okay.
She was figuring.
And then, hang on a minute. So she had a few leg sessions with you and Flex and John, and then she did wellness. 9 plate side hack squat, and yeah, she's doing wellness now.
Yeah, she trained hard.
She trained hard, yeah?
You can ask Flex. Flex sometimes see she train and say, hey, look at this girl, bro. So I believe that if you want to be one guy with success, you need to have one girl, one wife, one good wife in your side.
Yeah, just the one.
Yeah, just one.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Because women is made the men better. Because bodybuilding is restricted life.
Yeah.
You can't go to a party, you can go to a normal life. You need to have one girl that live like you.
Yeah. You need the similar lifestyle to be able to succeed.
Yes, because
agree.
Yes, and Karen living my life like
Yeah.
We live bodybuilding every day, 24 hours a day.
So when's her next show then?
For her?
Yeah. Does she know? Or?
I think I don't know. Maybe it's hard to say for you the next show now because we don't know.
Yeah. Is there wellness at the Arnold Brazil in October?
Yes.
Do that then.
Yes, can be good for her, but I think she wants to compete before Arnold.
Okay. If there's any shows, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I don't know, Tampa, New York Pro.
Oh, in September, yeah, of course. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah.
She loves to compete. She loves
That's good.
stage. Yeah, this is very good.
Okay, Rafael, have you got any thank yous to sponsors or to any you want to tell us about any YouTube accounts or anything you're working on or anyone you want to give a thank you to?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for you for this opportunity. It's my first ever
Yeah, thank you.
English.
It's honestly, it's an honor, mate, because I've been following your career for 3 years now, and I've been hyping you in the magazines and on the forums, and and it's nice. And I was so happy when I heard that you teamed up with Flex Lewis because I know what a good person he is, and I know he really even before we did this interview, he was sending me voice notes, to try and make sure that this interview went as well as possible, and he really cares, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see that you're kind of in a good place and you're in a good environment. And you're moving forward. It's nice to see that, mate. I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you so much. I wanted to say thank you for Flex because, Flex give me the best opportunity for my life, Because imagine you live together, you train together, you eat together with 7 times champion Flex. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Are you excited to maybe get on stage with him as well?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
You're not going to do a pumping iron hide his t-shirt backstage here, like in Mike Katz with Arnold Lou Ferrigno, isn't it, with the t-shirt? Start playing tricks on each other backstage and.
Yeah, you say, hey Flex, put a little salt in your meal.
yeah.
It's gonna be funny. Yeah. I think.
Any thank you to sponsors, Rafael?
What?
Any thank you to sponsors?
Yeah, just want to say thank you for my sponsor for help me with my dreams, with my goals, and I come to USA and my sponsor is from Brazil.
What are they called?
Is Darkness.
Sorry, say that again.
Darkness.
Darkness.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and this guy believe in myself.
Yeah.
I still working, because today's every work is from internet. Make videos, show your routine. I keep doing this. This guy believe me. I like that. I appreciate that. And Flex and John. John De La Rosa. These guys welcome me here. Like like I say for you, today I can say I have a family in USA.
Yeah.
This is very, very good because I have this guy with me, teach me everything, teach me about bodybuilding, teach me about life, teach me about English.
Yeah, English, business, the lot.
Yeah, shitty words.
Yeah. Okay. So for let's set the goals out for 2020. You want to win the Arnold Brazil, top 10 Olympia, and a call out with Flex and John if John does it as well. And you want to get 1 million followers because I know you're very close to it on Instagram, mate. You're doing very well with your social media.
Yeah, bro. Thanks so much. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, then Rafael Brandao, this is your first interview in English for it's technically episode 50 of MD Glow Muscle. Thank you so much for taking the time. I've really enjoyed this, and I've really, it's been a real pleasure following your journey, and we're really excited to see what the future holds for you and your wife, Karen, as well. So, Rafael Brandao, thank you so much.
Thank you. I thank you, bro, for this opportunity. My first English interview English with you.
You've done great, mate. You've done great. Honestly, I was a little bit nervous. I said to AJ, I said to Flex, I said, is his English good? And he goes, Giles, his English is perfect. You'll be fine. So yeah, I'm really happy how this has gone, mate. So yep. Okay, then. Well, enjoy your leg session on Sunday, and I'll message Flex now after we've come off this. So thank you so much.
Thank you, bro. I will come back with my classification for Olympia, okay?
Yeah, get you on before the Olympia. We'll build some smack talk between you and Flex. I'll get Flex to say some nasty things about you before the show. All right then, mate. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.